All right. Well, if we are live, then welcome. I am John Lennon, joined today by the one, the only, the brown magic, Mr. Nick Nanavati. We're here to commentate the final game of the Charity Hammer Out Cancer RTT. Really excited about this one. It's going to be Colin's White Scars into Zach's Imperial Guard.
Yeah, this is a super exciting matchup. I know John's been a big supporter of Guard lately in our Art of War stream house, talking about how they are good at Marine counters because they have such efficient plasma guns. And Zach is packing the heat today, with 3 full command squads of 4 plasma guns and 3 full special weapon squads of plasma guns. That plus the tank commanders with demolisher cannons. I'm real excited to see just how Colin can shape up against this raw efficiency.
Absolutely. There's a lot of offensive firepower coming out of the Imperial Guard. There's absolutely no concern given to close combat in here, but honestly, if he can keep the White Scars from trapping him too much in combat, he can do a lot of damage. It's going to be a very interesting matchup to see what Zach can do against the so far undefeated White Scars. Zach is coming out of the losers bracket like a champion, taking care of everyone else to get back to the title game. Whereas Colin is a nice, clean 3-0 and is ready to go to defend the White Scar streak.
Yeah, why don't we just give everyone a refresher on what Colin and Zach's lists are? John, if you want to start off with the guard.
Absolutely. So let's start off with Zach's Imperial Guard list. So this Imperial Guard battalion is a custom regiment, and it has disciplined shooters and wilderness survivors. This basically means that all of the infantry are in cover if they did not advance in the past turn, and all of their rapid fire weapons get the additional shot at 18 inches instead of 12. That's going to be very powerful with all the units coming up. Quite simply, there's 3 company commanders, 58 conscripts, and 40 infantry, and then you fill out the elite slots with plasma guns. You've got 3 units of command squads. That's 4 guys with 4 plasma guns at ballistic skill 3. 3 special weapon teams. Each unit is 6 guys, and there are 3 plasma guns in that, ballistic skill 4, for a total of 21 plasma guns in this detachment. Again, all of those plasma guns are a power level 2 unit, and they're all rapid firing at 18 inches. Pickles, can you make sure that you're streaming the table to the Discord chat as well, so that we can see it?
Talk about those White Scars.
Oh, well, let me, there's another detachment of guard. There is more than that, I promise.
Hold up.
So next up is a Spearhead. This is another custom regiment. These ones are gunnery experts and spotter details. That's plus 6 inches to the range of all of their heavy weapons. As well, there is going to be a reroll for the number of shots anytime they fire a random shot weapon. This detachment is 2 tank commanders with multi-melt sponsons and demolisher cannon turrets. All those 24-inch guns are going to go to 30 inches. And that's frankly going to add quite a bit. Next up, there's an Astropath with Psychic Barrier. That's going to give just +1 save to a guard unit. Then there is a regular Leman Russ with a Demolisher Cannon and 2 full payload Manticores. Those full payload Manticores are flat 3 damage. And as well, there is an Inquisitor. This Malleus Inquisitor can give a unit a 5-up invuln. That's going to pair very well with the Astropath. If you get both of those off, a guard unit could potentially auto-pass morale and have a 4-up invulnerable save. On something like 29 conscripts, that's going to be quite annoying for anyone to deal with. Nick, why don't you talk to us about the White Scar list?
Absolutely. We all know it. We all hate it. It's the mean, lean White Scars killing machine. Colin's variation features Khan, the Moonfang Draken. Then I just made up a whole thing there. That's fine. We got a Lieutenant in Reiver armor. He's got the Rites of Warlord trait. Very good pick right there. He turns off enemy obsec. He gives obsec. What more can you want? We got a Primaris Chaplain with like 400 words attached to him. I'm sure he does all the things. Then we got 5 Incursors, 2 units of 5 Intercessors with auto bolt rifles. Nice pick there in White Scars. They can advance and shoot with no penalty. They have a lot of just shots to add in. Give you something nice and powerful in Tactical Doctrine, and they still hit pretty hard in Assault like everything else. A unit of 5 Bladeguard, a unit of 2 Company Veterans, the ever so handy Primaris Apothecary, 2 units of 10 Vanguard Vets with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields, and then a unit of 5 Plasma Scepters and a unit of 4 Plasma Scepters. One thing I always like to check with my Space Marine list is whether or not they're running Infiltrators. So Colin isn't. He's kind of foregone the Infiltrators for just more power. And I don't know if Zach's army Zach's army is one that will actually take a good advantage of that, since the Infiltrators can push out those outflanking plasma and special weapon squads. So it'll be interesting to see if that's going to come to bite Colin in the butt here and if they can knock down the undefeated champion.
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting. We already saw Zach play into a relatively similar model-wise Space Marine list yesterday. He went into Harrison's Blood Angels and pretty much tabled them. So we know that Zach has the actual offense to win this game. It's going to come down to whether or not the positioning skills of the White Scar are going to let Zach's actually get there.
Yeah.
So
we got a question. Are we surprised to see Zach's Guard in the finals? Yes and no. I'm not surprised that Guard are in the finals. Like, I think Zach's Guard is a good army. They have a lot of power and a lot of efficiency, like John's pointing out. I think a lot of people underestimate Guard, and Zach is a good player. But there are other good armies and other good players in the tournament. So I'm surprised Lineage Demons didn't do well at all here. And Chuck losing before, that kind of caught me off guard just because that's this list. I know how powerful it can be.
So for secondaries, Colin has taken Grind Them Down, Scramblers, and Engage. Zach has taken Domination, Scramblers, and Assassinate.
All right, Domination, Scramblers, and Assassinate for the Guard. And then one more time, did you say that Colin took, Oath of Moment, Engage?
Nope, he didn't take Oath of Moment because it was going to conflict with his Engage. He took Grind Them Down, Scramblers, and Engage.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, so he took Grind Them Down instead of Oath of Moment. Not totally surprising take by Colin there. There's a lot of Guard stuff here. Although this Guard list can be a little hard to grind them down on. Just by its nature, it can give you 0 targets for several turns and then a million targets for a couple other turns. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Colin only get like a 6 or 9 on that. But depending on if he goes second, he'll be able to push that up to a.
I could also definitely see 12. Like one Guard squad going out to contest and steal objectives, and then the Mana Core is not killing a unit, so 1-0 Colin, nice grind them down.
Yeah, as always, I think going second will be the huge thing here. If Colin goes second, he'll definitely be able to leverage that. But I think the Guard list has the firepower where if Colin kills 2 units, Zach may be able to allocate the resources to get 3. Let's see. Domination on a 6 objective mission is a very interesting choice by the Guard list. I am actually surprised to see that. Frankly, with the Guard list, I wouldn't have been surprised to see something like while we stand we fight, try to protect those Russes as long as you can. But I understand, if you lose those Russes...
so scary against White Scars. They can just reach out and touch you.
They can. Getting touched isn't the scariest part. It's just getting killed.
Anything can kill you, so there's like no safety. Scars.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so Pickles is actually typing the secondaries into the chat. Thank you so much. And then looks like Tyler Dacron is going to make that into a chat command, which is absolutely awesome on Twitch.
John, tell me how you feel about Pickles. Food.
Oh, Pickles the food, not nearly as palatable as Pickles the person.
Mm.
All right, and it looks like they're playing Mission 6 Retrieval, which I believe is another Dawn of War. Dawn of War into White Scars is just like so scary because you don't really know what's going to happen at all.
Dawn of War is just a scary mission in general.
Yeah.
And the faster you are, the scarier it is.
So what I think is going to be a very important question that we're going to actually want to get an answer on is whether or not...
They're actually playing Surround and Destroy. I didn't have a chance to update that yet. I'll fix that now.
No problem. Okay. Still looks like it's Dawn of War with 6 objectives. So Surround and Destroy. I think is Surround and Destroy... That's one where you'd still hold 1, isn't it?
This is a hold 1.
Okay.
Yes. Hold 2 is when all 3 are in 1 and some.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know that one. Okay. Very interesting here. All right. This is going to be an interesting one. One question that I am going to have to ask the players when they're done with deployment is whether or not those 2 central objectives can be held from either side of those L-shaped ruins.
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it, and that's going to give those tank commanders very, very good lines of vision onto those objectives. If that's the case, that's going to prove to be quite a challenge for White Scars.
These boards are really congested, though. It's going to be hard for the tank commanders to get line of sight to anything. They're going to go in very specific, easy to predict spots.
Yeah, that is always the danger. It looks like they're clarifying right now that you cannot.
You cannot
hold them from inside the walls. Ooh, okay.
I actually just asked them, and they made it so it can't be held on from the other side.
They're like just 3 ruins down the sides.
Yeah. There are a lot of spots for the White Scars to hide. That's going to be the biggest challenge of the Imperial Guard. But on the other hand, both of those ruins are open-faced towards the edges, which is where plasma guns could potentially outflank. If Zach
Honestly.
reserves a lot of his guard and then maybe splits the tank commanders, it may be hard for Colin to actually go up those ruins.
Honestly, I think I would actually deploy 4 units of plasma guns in my 2 ruins if I were Zach.
Really, you think you would?
I think I'd deploy 4, outflank 2 just to keep Colin honest and take a flank away from like infiltrators or whatever, incursors, and then park those 2 Lehman Russes dead center and just say, "I dare you."
I think I would reserve them just that you have the opportunity to outflank and shoot into those L-shaped ruins. I feel like that's going to be a big deal.
I don't think you're going to get the chance. I think Colin can go into the L-shaped ruin and then screen out the 9 inches there.
That may be doable on the left side for sure.
Yeah,
It's going to be challenging either way for Zach. It looks like Zach is kind of expecting that to be the side that Colin pushes because he's put both of his Manticores on the far opposite side. Almost like he doesn't want it to be easy to get there.
that's a very good choice. If you put them on the right side or the left side ruin, then Colin has a nice easy trajectory. He put himself on the far facing hill.
Absolutely.
That's an experience from Zach right there.
All right, and it looks like if you put the chat command ! secondaries into the Twitch chat, you'll be able to pull up what secondaries everyone took. Great move there. Thank you so much to Dakarin.
You gotta telestrator and do this. I want to draw on stuff.
I do want to draw on stuff. That would be fun. Alrighty, so it looks like they're just both deploying right now. I can't much see what Colin is up to. It looks like he's just put a couple of units down behind each building. Looks like he's just ready to hold on to a few objectives, get his safe 40 primary that way. Frankly, Zach, I wouldn't be surprised if Zach did the same thing.
If Colin combat squad the Vanguard, I'm sure he did, but like,
yeah, we'll get confirmation of that in just a moment. But I think we'll probably have to ask that when they recap their deployment.
Got it.
There is a question in the chat. How important is it for Colin to shut the Manticores down? I think it's possible to weather the Manticores, but frankly, to take all 4 turns of them is going to be really annoying. The big thing is he going to be able to shut them down? That side is going to be the hardest one to push, and it looks like there's a pretty sizable concentration of guardsmen over there. It may be that Zach makes sure that nothing gets within realistic charge range of the Manticores, and if anything does, he starts to backline them so that it's very hard to get into combat there.
I'm really curious on if these ruins have windows, and let me elaborate on that a second. They don't have windows.
Yeah,
okay.
So they've been playing them as if they are solid line of sight blocking walls, even though a couple of them do have some holes in them. They're playing them as if they're solid walls.
So that's huge for Zach because now he can be right up against that wall, making use of the cover save provided to it from the Manticore's indirect fire to really slow down how much damage they can do. Between Transhuman on the Bladeguard and Plasma Scepter, 6 of Penal Pain, and the reviving of the Apothecary, I honestly think that Colin can just tank the Manticores for quite some time.
Yeah, I think the Manticores will be annoying, but it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, Colin can eat the Manticores and play the game at his pace still.
Yep, and that's going to be a very, very big deal. Looks like Zach's Lehman Russ are going relatively central. Frankly, this is going to be a challenging matchup, I think, for Zach overall. The White Scars are just so good at playing the mission. Guard aren't bad at it, but with the way these objectives and ruins are set up, I think Zach's going to have to do something pretty special to take the upper hand away from Colin. Harvey Danger's asking what the best units for Zach to put the Manticores into. That is very much going to depend on the situation. I don't think that there's a single best target, just because all these 2-up save Marines, when they're tagging cover, will get a 3-up save. Shooting Manticores at that isn't going to feel great.
I'd have to say the Plasma Scepters, but it's not by a lot.
Yeah,
like, there's definitely going to be circumstances where you'd rather shoot Vanguard bets, but if I had to say something, I'd say Plasma.
I agree. I think I would lean towards Plasma Scepters as the default if you just have different opportunities. But you've got to maybe get some good rolls to power through Transhuman to actually make that happen.
That's the power of the White Scars army. There are no units are really taken to do one role. Like guard players will take Scions to fulfill the Scrambler's duty and engage in all fronts. Space Marines just take good units and they do everything, which also makes them all targets.
That is very true. This is going to be an interesting one. It's hard to tell what infantry exactly Zach is deploying, so we don't know yet what he has put in reserves. As soon as they're both done deploying, we'll ask each player to just give a very quick summary of what they deployed and what they didn't. It looks like Colin is actually stacking a decent amount of stuff to his bottom right. It appears at the bare minimum that there's more infantry there and also the Biker Chaplain. Maybe he's planning on making his push up the right side, regardless of the fact that there's a longer distance to cover, or at least a longer distance without the cover of that ruin. He may just be looking at it as, screw it, I'm fast enough to go through it. And frankly, that may not be wrong. I think what units Zach ends up shooting is very much going to depend on Colin's opening moves.
Mm-hmm. I love that placement of the mana cores and Lehman Russes. It basically means that if Colin does the natural thing and try to sneak up the left flank, there's nothing to hit.
Yep. And I think you're willing to concede that because if the Space Marines come out to try to mess with the objective, you frankly just need to drown them in bodies because they're probably not going to be obstacle over there. It's going to be very hard for the Reiver Lieutenant to follow them up there. And if he can just have a unit that's auto passes morale and has a 4-up invuln, it actually can tango with Vanguard Veterans for a decent amount of time. Not forever, but he could hold that flank for a little bit. And again, just move the tanks away, and the Vanguard Veterans aren't going to be able to fall back and charge them. So
honestly, now I see what you're saying about not deploying too many plasma guns.
Yep.
And I'm sold. I'm not a guard player.
That's all right. As a matter of fact, I did actually write both of the lists being played in this game. So I'd like to think that I'm pretty familiar with how they're both going to function. It's going to be a very interesting match, honestly. This guard list has the firepower to kill Marines, but White Scars have the speed, and there's a lot of cover on the table. So it's going to be interesting for both players to see what kind of moves they both make. Going into it, again, giving White Scars a slight edge. I think they're a very strong army, but this is not whatsoever unachievable for Zach.
Definitely. I mean, I think White Scar is the best army in the game, so I will never bet against them. But I will say that Zach isn't playing an army that can actually handle it.
Yep. All right. And that's how are both players done deploying yet? Mr. Pickles, do you want to switch to player audio, see what they're saying?
You're muted.
I don't believe so.
Oh.
Let's see. Can we turn up that player audio by any chance?
That would be against the
There you go.
You can charge me if you want.
I don't know if I really want to. I don't know how that works out for me.
They have AP1, so not amazing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like Zach may have won the roll-off and is getting the first turn.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's
trying to for Zach.
Yep.
I think we're short a tank.
Oh, yeah.
No,
he needs
fine,
another
because
tank.
It means Colin has
been
to
a long day,
overextend
man.
faster to stop the outflanking plasma.
Yeah, I think it's good because otherwise Colin would get a free turn where
Sorry,
he can run
Incursors.
forward and only be worried about the tank shooting.
Okay.
And he gets to ignore the
All right.
plasma.
Go live and
Then
we'll tell
he
you
might
what our
actually-
stuff is.
This is a big momentum.
Okay.
swing.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Yes,
Welcome
Colin has
to
a
the
big
final. Oh, I'm not muted, aren't I? Am I not muted?
Oh, you are good to go, Colin.
Okay. Welcome to the Uber final. Zach has played 37 games of 40K consecutively. Zach started off, first of all, Zach was supposed to play Chaos, and Peter and I helped him with this guard list, specifically designing it to beat Marines, which is an important thing to remember. Zach started off and beat the Blood Angels, and then lost to Peter, and then beat the Tyranids, and then beat Peter in the rematch.
I beat Chuck.
Oh, and beat Chuck, and then beat Peter. This is round 6 of the RTT for Zach.
In addition to
Which
three other...
it turns out the double elimination RTTs are weird, and I don't think I'll do it as a double elimination again. But
it was weird.
it was weird, because it ended up with Zach playing nonstop. I am playing the White Scars. I'm really tired of them at this point, but that's fine. Zach is playing the guard. We are flipping exhausted. I've been awake for 2 days almost nonstop, so is Zach. But we're going to do our best to give you guys a great show. At the end of this, I'm going to give away like $4,000 worth of product.
Stick around.
So that'll be a thing. If you want to get in on that, you know how to do it. Let me walk you through our deployment zone. This is 5 Intercessors. This is 5 Incursors who have baited a Lehman Russ into deploying next to them. 5 Vanguard Vets, 5 Vanguard Vets, 5 Vanguard Vets. 5 Vanguard gets off the table. 9 Plasma Inceptors nestled in the womb here. 5 Intercessors, Apothecary, all my characters are right here, as well as the Bladeguard. Zach?
I got 1 tank over here because really I had nowhere else to be and I want to kill them. I got 10 guardsmen, got 29 conscripts, 10 more guardsmen, 29 conscripts, 2 layers of 10 guardsmen here so he can't get a cheeky wrap or a touch off on me. 2 tank commanders. I've got a Inquisitor who knows the power for a 5-up invo and fearlessness. And then I have an Astropath who has barrier. Those do go together for a 4-up invo and also got a conscripts. And then I got 1 company commander. In Deep Strike, I have 3 command squads with 4 plasma each, 3 special weapon teams with 3 plasma each, and 2 company commanders to help them roll their ones.
Can the tank drive over that piece of bullshit in front of it?
Right here?
Yeah.
I assumed yes on this, not through this,
Okay.
from my understanding.
And you'll take an inch or two off movement. To
Yeah,
go over.
whatever it requires. Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, let's see who gets the glory of going first.
I have 2.
I also have rolled a 2.
The suspense. I got a 2.
I got a 3.
You go first.
I don't want to.
I would have loved to give you first turn, so I won that roll.
Yeah.
Just confirm, it looks like they rolled off, and Colin is going first. There is
Yep.
no choice in the matter. Colin won, and he will go first.
That is going to be a big swing in the opposite direction. We were just talking about how it would have been good for the guard momentum to go first with respect to the plasma guns outflanking and Colin's ability to control the table before they come in. So now Colin's good.
It seems that Colin, however, did not want to go first, based on what he was saying. So I'm now curious how Colin's going to approach his turn, if he's going to be conservative or he's going to try to outrace the plasma.
You know what's really interesting, and from what I saw in Colin yesterday, in today's earlier game, is Colin can make the right moves with this army. He knows how to play it, but he doesn't see the full thing yet. Like, he's still relatively new with the white scars. Like, he doesn't know when he's doing good or when he's doing bad, despite the fact he is doing good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
Does
was
that make any sense?
That's a pretty abstract concept, but he did quite well in a previous game where he maybe got behind early, and I think he started digging to get out of the hole, and he didn't realize when he was out of the hole quite yet.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm just trying to, I guess, more put that to principle. But
Looks like a
Colin was
Vanguard.
going all full engines ahead here.
That Vanguard squad is going straight forward. I think that's because there's a nice corner to that L-shaped ruin, so
So he's out of line of sight right there.
he's just completely out of line of sight. And they're playing these as 6 windows with absolutely no ruins.
Yeah, 6 ruins with absolutely no windows.
That makes more sense now. So at this stage, it is actually going to be really hard to get line of sight with anything. This almost mandates exactly where the Manticores are shooting.
Well, honestly, while that is, that may be a trap, because the Vanguard Reticle there will be taking 3 up saves from the Manticores. Like, you pump up at both Manticores there, you go knock it to a 2-man veteran squad. Is that worth 2 Manticores?
I mean, you could try to kill the whole thing. He could bring one to the side to get line of sight. Then he can spend the 1 CP, get +1 to hit.
And you could try to make some plays with it.
Yeah, I mean, then you're hitting on 3s, winning on 2s. Yes, to get 3 up saves, but every failed save is basically a dead model.
Yeah.
Killing all 5 at that point is not unrealistic with 2 Manticores. You can
No.
hope for it at least.
And even killing 4 is to the point.
Killing 4 is a point where you feel
It's
better.
fine, yeah.
Very, very interesting. So,
So that is a guard player's mindset. Like, I would look at this and be like, my Manticores suck.
No. Manticores are quite useful. We'll see if Zach takes full advantage of that stratagem. But yeah, the way Colin is pushing up, just taking advantage of the inside corner of that L, definitely this is what we were talking about. I think actually Colin wanted to go first here because he straight up cannot make this play if Zach goes first.
Right.
He just takes 21 plasma guns directly to the chin in this position. So Zach needs to kind of hold him back for a turn. I think honestly he needs to pull back on that flank so that Colin doesn't get easy charges. And then Colin either has to go further in, get plasma gunned, or fall back behind the wall again.
This
Once
honestly
the threat of
makes-
the reserves is there.
Yeah, this honestly makes me feel like I should have used plasma guns now that.
So he moved Colin and
that
Bladeguard up there into the ruin as well.
It was that easy.
Getting to change your deployment after you know who goes first is really helpful.
That would have been so. Sorry. Yeah. Well, that's where some of the abilities that can do it, like the Necron Deceiver, are actually pretty good.
Phantasm. I use Phantasm. I say it like that.
Alrighty, so Colin's just pushing up. It looks like he's trying to put quite a few units on that objective. That objective is relatively hard to see for Zach. He would have to get a pretty extreme angle. It doesn't look like any of the tanks are going to do so early on. So I think he is feeling relatively comfortable there. Now I wonder what Zach is going to do as a response to this. Frankly, he has 1 tank. It looks like his normal Russ, not the commander. That is very far out on the flank. I think it's actually going to take a while to get back into the game. I wonder if he'll use the double move order just to get that tank moving around quickly, get it to some weird angles. At that point, maybe on turn 2, it would be able to shoot into a ruin. That would be the best play, I think. Yep, a lot of units. Even a Plasma Scepter is coming straight forward. Colin is being extremely aggressive
I
here.
think Colin is trying to overstress Zach's ability to shoot him before the plasma guns come in. Because right now, Zach's offense is basically 2 Lehman Russes because the one on the far right or far left won't be able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 Lehman Russes at an extreme angle and 2 Mana Cores. And frankly, if Colin's just going to put 2,000 points of White Scars on the line, that's not going to stop it. And then the game might be over before the plasma shows up.
Absolutely. Zach needs to hold on for 1 turn for the plasma to come in. The plasma is a huge part of his ability to kill Marines. Because, frankly, the plasma will kill Marines, 100%.
100%. That's why I thought this was a game. But Colin's trying to escalate it so quickly that the plasma doesn't matter by the time it shows up.
Mad Doc Dangler is asking, how happy is John that Guard made it to the finals? He's been singing Guard's praises all weekend. You know what? I'm a big supporter of the Imperial Guard. I think that they are much better than perhaps publicly perceived. So I am happy to see them doing well here. This is going to be a very challenging matchup. I feel bad for anyone that has to play against this White Scar list, frankly.
Yeah, that's so bad for me.
Oh, not Nick. Now, it actually looks like Colin is adjusting his Plasma Scepters. He may have decided to be a little less aggressive. They're now behind the wall. I think he was initially checking to see if there was an angle where he could shoot at the Imperial Guardsmen up front without getting shot back by tank commanders. And I think he has very quickly realized that angle does not exist.
You know, it's really interesting because as much as I think Colin is making the right play by being conservative and playing the long game of 40k right here, I think there's a really interesting world where Colin goes all in on the blitz and we see if it works. And I just kind of wanted to see that game.
I think that's because you want to have an early dinner.
Don't put the words in my mouth.
This is going to be a very interesting one. I'm really excited to hear Colin's take once he's done moving. It appears that he has both Plasma Scepter squads on the table right now, which kind of after what happened in his last game, I think that's probably the right choice. We're talking, of course, about Colin's round 3 against Peter's mix of Imperial Guard and Raven Guard. This is going to be a very, very weird one, though. With 2 Vanguard veteran squads that are essentially in threatening position, I'm wondering if Zach will be able to backline the Manticores, get them far enough away that a Vanguard veteran squad isn't going to connect with them, or maybe you just spread them all out so that they can only get 1.
John, I know you asked me a question, but I'm fixated on Narling Johnson right now, who asked, is this Nick and Mark? Which makes me feel, yes, I'm Nick, but I don't think you're assuming John is Mark right now.
Nick or Mark. He knows it's me.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Nick.
He just called you. This is Nick Nanavati and John Lennon doing the commentary right now.
You confused me with Mark. I don't know what's going on right
now. Yep. And yeah, we were able to fix some of the audio issues, so appreciate everyone's patience if you were with us for some of the earlier games. But we have gotten things working now, and I'm glad that it is sounding good. And looks like Colin is just finishing up tweaking some models on his left flank. They're pretty content sitting on objective out of line of sight, it appears, and he's got an Incursor unit sitting in the middle. It looks like. Frankly, I would imagine that they're going to deploy the middle scrambler right about now. All right.
Can you scramble and then guerrilla tactics out of there?
I actually haven't checked, but he looks
a move.
That would be an interesting one. No, you can't, because guerrilla tactics is not the end of the phase. Guerrilla tactics is when you moves. So no, that wouldn't work.
I thought I was being clever.
You know what? It's an interesting way to look at it. Sorry, Harvey Danger, no gimbal cam here.
See, everyone loves the gimbal.
Everyone loves the gimbal. All right, and now it looks like, someone is moving up into the Guardsmen. Maybe that's the Incursor squad on the left, and it's an Intercessor in the middle? So looks like Colin is moving forward just to try to start getting early work done on this objective.
And I don't mind that at all. He can touch the rust. But I think I'd actually prefer to, while that rust has no targets, let it have no targets. Don't let it shoot this squad.
Yep.
That is an Incursor
He's
squad.
going to
He
go
just
for
moved.
the objective play here.
What was that, Pickles?
That is an Incursor squad. He just moved up on the left there.
Okay, very good. Well, let's see. Looks like we're about to go into Colin's shooting phase.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and unmute them.
Audio a little bit.
Yep.
Blue guys, right? Yeah. Okay. There's not a lot of it, guys. Sorry to disappoint. I'll throw a frag grenade with the one of the Incursors. 2, same as if he had shot his gun. 2 hits, 2 wounds.
This on the guardsman?
Yeah.
I'll put on one. There's 2 guys in cover. 1 dice.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. They're all in cover because the wilderness survivors and I didn't advance.
Fair enough. Here's the rest of the shooting.
All right. There's no rend on this, right?
None. 5. 4 die.
I'll just fail 4.
Okay.
Alright,
The
Colin's
chaplain
just
will
starting to
get
chip
some
away
cheeky
conscript
shots
block,
down
looks
range
like.
at the guardsman standing in front of the mana core,
Sounds great. Oh, I got to leave him.
but not well, because I'm pretty sure he hits on 3s and not 2s.
That's correct. He does.
So he'll hit twice for nothing. Good job.
Cool.
Way to be.
You talked about it too much, man. He's like, I'm not. I hit
I
things.
punch things. That's what I do.
Alright, so it looks like
That's
Colin's
Tommy.
pushing
That's all my
relatively
shooting. Let me see
ineffective.
how I want to do this charge.
There will be a few
I'm
charges
just gonna
coming
charge
up.
the guardsman
Colin
because
said
I
he
just feel like
punches
taking D6 demolisher shots,
Okay. I mean, you do you.
right? I got an 8.
Okay.
So what I want to do is that completes the charge,
Mhm.
and then I want to go like this, and then I want to go like this, and then I want to go like this.
Alright, so just a nice little
If I could
conscript
get more
unit.
attacks on the guardsman,
getting
I'm just gonna
tagged.
do that.
And Colin is going to tag that Demolisher as well, but that is not the tank commander. So, yes, he will tag it, but it's not one of the main power pieces. And frankly, there is nothing to shoot over there
I
anyway.
think I can go like this, and then have 2 of them not fight. Is the only way this works. So he'll,
Okay.
so pile ins, boop.
Yep.
I mean, you'll probably out obsec me anyways because the conscripts are standing there, but
I certainly will.
it's fun nonetheless. Incursors are AP1 for some reason.
Yeah, they got paired combat blades.
These aren't even my dice. Okay, let me get some dice going here.
Who's the sergeant? The guy pointing.
Yeah, so he gets 4 attacks,
Yep.
and then 3 and 3.
Yep.
I'll just hit with everything, if that's okay.
Okay.
It seems weird, but it works for me.
You'll wound most of it too.
8 at AP, or 7 at AP1. Did I get them all?
Alright, so chipping away the guardsmen here. Those conscripts are not
5.
fearless yet. They're almost certainly taking a morale check at the end of this.
I'm going to pile into the conscripts.
Okay.
I'll get some attacks up on me, but also make it hard for them to take the objective, maybe.
Okay.
Is that going to do? Because you can just fall back and move around me. It doesn't matter. There's no reason to do that. Well, I guess I can stop you from shooting. There we go.
I'll take my
My
6.
thought was I can pile in here and then stop you from getting around me, but you're just like,
I'll take my 6 inches of movement now.
you have 6 inches of movement now?
When I file in Consolidated, I do.
Right.
They're just gonna swing this direction towards them. They're gonna arc out that way.
All right.
Alright, so Zach is piling in and consolidating that guardsman unit forward. These are the big conscript blob. Looks like
Hey,
he's
look
just
at
trying
that.
to get closer
I
to the
always forget
objective.
that I have engaged on all fronts, and it really worked out. These guys are up. These guys might be past the halfway point.
It's gotta be holy, right?
Yep. And they're not, but that's fine. I still got 3/4. That makes me happy.
So Colin just getting 2 engaged on all front points. Looks like he's probably deployed 1 scrambler. I don't think he's killed the unit yet for the purpose of grinding them down.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just want to know like what angle I would need if I'm going to see through here at your Vanguard vets, but I can't quite tell because they're on like where they would be on the bottom. You know what I mean?
Well, like there's a wall here, right? So you're gonna have to be like you have to be over there,
I'd have to be like that.
farther probably. Well, the shoot back here probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like right about here. You would need to live where the Manticores are and move. He could do it. You have to live where the Manticores are and move over 5.
Okay, so at the end of the turn, I did my first scramble,
I'll finish my move.
and I engaged for 2 points.
Alright, looks like Zach is just ready to fall back.
Punch me too.
Those conscripts are just finishing their pollen move. He will have to take a morale check there, I assume,
Actually, there's no point in going around it.
but haven't quite seen that yet. I think he's just making a couple really swings that will probably bounce off the Space
Here's some
Marines,
dice,
but
now I
hey,
can do it.
gotta try.
Hey, they got 2 hits, 3 hits.
Yes.
Okay.
As promised.
Go ahead and start your movement. I'm gonna get a drink.
Sounds good.
All right, let me do the players so you guys can go.
Alrighty, so here we are. End of Colin's turn 1. He did get the 2 points on engage on all fronts. Nothing whatsoever crazy there. But now Zach has to respond. Zach was asking about what angle he would need to shoot the Vanguard veterans before. It looks like he is going to try to get direct line of sight with the Manticore for that +1 to hit stratagem. I think that he needs to move those Manticores about as far away as he can. I don't know if he can get far enough away from the White Scars, so if nothing else, maybe split them up so that one unit does not tag both tanks.
You know what Zach could really do too is maybe use some infantry to move into a place to move block where the Vanguard could land with a theoretical advance roll. So if they can land on the wrong side of the guardsmen, it's now very, very far.
So
Exactly. Just try to keep it away.
One thing I need to clarify, the Manicore ruin and the ruin opposite it in the lower left, those both have windows in them. The other 4 are all just walls. That's how the mission reads.
2 of them do have windows.
Yeah, and it's the upper right, lower left.
That's interesting because that means that a Leman Russ might actually theoretically be able to move 10 inches, cut an angle, and touch the ruin, and then cut an angle to see the Vanguard veterans. Now, if that can happen, that actually does change quite a lot for Mr. Zach. Okay, so it looks like the top right with the Manticores and the bottom left, those 2 do have windows in them, is how they're playing it. Okay, that does actually help out here. It means that there is a chance that one of those Leman Russ commanders at a minimum is going to just move and get shots into Vanguard veterans. At this point, with the high AP of the Demolisher Cannon and the Multi-Melt Sponsons, it's now actually relatively realistic that he could knock out at least one Vanguard veteran squad. A second might be asking for a lot, but if he can kill one and even just wound the other, that should mean that Colin doesn't just get on top of him and ruin him before the plasma arrives. And that's what Zach needs to do right now. He needs to do enough damage here to slow Colin down. He just doesn't want Colin to come barreling directly into him. Just buy a little bit of time, kill enough stuff that Colin isn't confident just missiling into him, and then wait for the plasma to arrive, get some fun angles with the plasma guns, and start killing Space Marines. That's what this list is best at.
Hey, John.
Mm-hmm.
The question came between Colin and Zach. After you fall back, are you allowed to move?
My understanding is no.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and double check in case there was a specific FAQ, but
All right.
I'm 90. I remember looking this up and the answer was no previously. I'll just make sure it hasn't been changed.
All right.
All right, just to confirm, folks, no, you cannot move after performing a fallback move with Imperial Guard. As cool as that would be, and trust me as a guard player, I wish you could, but you cannot. All right, so looks like Colin is just kind of thinking a little bit while Zach starts to do his movement. Zach has moved on to 4 objectives, it looks like, which is actually going to give him his domination point. Unfortunately, that requires being very close to the White Scars, which not an enviable position to be, but maybe the hope is to draw out a lot of the White Scars army into blasting range, where the tank commanders will actually get some work done. We will see there. So all these conscripts moving forward, these are doubtlessly going to be handed a 4+ on vulnerable save. I'm at least assuming that the unit directly in front of the directly in front is the one that's going to get it. Alrighty here. So the interesting part is going to be what kind of firepower Zach can actually get done. Now, I would think that the tank commander of the 2 tank commanders facing each other, the one on the left, I would actually bet that if it backs all the way up, it could get an angle around the ruin to maybe draw line of sight to the Incursor squad. And it looks like his hand's right by that tank. I don't know if he's going to move it yet, but I would think that if it just backs straight up, it would be able to get that kind of angle. We will see if that's what happens. Actually, I cannot tell how much space there is between the edge of the table and that ruin. If that ruin is literally touching the board edge, then that would not be the case, but I would be surprised by that. All right, and then the
top
next question
left.
is then going.
The top left and bottom right are touching the board edge. Those 2 ruins.
Really? So those 2 ruins are touching the board edge. That actually seriously limits where those tanks can drive. That means that Incursor squad on the left is actually just almost impossible to kill at this point. There's no windows in that wall, so even driving a tank up to it to shoot through it is not going to get anything done.
Are these Incursors?
The Incursors in the top left on that objective. Now, it's going to take them a while to grind through all those guardsmen, but I think they're going to eventually. I might actually, frankly, have moved the Rust farther away from the infantry so that it's harder for the Incursors to both engage the guardsmen and the Rust, because right now the Incursors are just going to charge directly back into the conscript, kill some more of them, and go straight into the Rust again without having to shoot it. And it looks like those tank commanders are not moving much at all, and that means that Zach is just assuming he's not shooting. I didn't know if there's a possibility that he could move 10 inches and cut an angle to see into the Vanguard veterans, but I would guess that he either...
is Zach done moving? Like, Zach has another movement phase coming, right? With move. Like, how much of his army is about to move?
Well, the unit that fell back, they won't be. One Manticore is moving actually forward. That's interesting. I would expect it to have moved back into the right, but instead it's moving forward.
He's castling in that direction. Thinks he needs to abandon the left flank and go hard into the center because he thinks he's losing.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going with. With how fast White Scars move, he isn't doing.
It's not crazy. If the guardsmen then move to spread out, you might be able to block the Vanguard to a point where they end up on the wrong side of the conscript.
Yeah. The reason I hesitate to count on that is the fact that conscripts only move on a 4+.
Yeah,
you have to roll a 4+, and it can't be rerolled. I don't think he would.
If there was a relic or warlord trader or something.
Nope, nothing in this list. So it would be tricky there. Now he is taking a guardsman squad and starting to wrap it around a Manicore.
That's not enough.
But that's not at all enough.
It's not. It's a poor attempt.
Yep. Now we will see. What Zach tries to do here. He does have some shooting. It looks like
he's really
just
going
rolled
for
the dice.
The bubble wrap, the Manticore and Rust. But
I think with the Plasma Scepters, I think that they're going to get punched right through.
It's too easy to chew a hole through that screen, and then.
Yeah, that is my concern as well.
If the conscripts do pass the 4 up and Zach spreads them out properly, I think this situation is salvageable, but he's really relying on that 4 up.
Even then, each Plasma Scepter squad could kill like at least 10 guardsmen by themselves, and there's 2 of those squads. If the far minimum.
Oh, true.
Yeah, with a far minimum. And honestly, it is probably more. I don't know if I like this move by Zach here. Harvey Danger suggesting that you could leave the Russ in combat to shoot the Incursors. You could, but the Russ in question only had the Heavy Bolter. If that one had the multi-melt sponsons, that would have been a lot scarier of a prospect. But unfortunately, that was not the one that had it.
And in the very beginning, when I had suggested the plasma squads,
that this would be the time to do it. I actually like taking a Chimera and putting the squads in that.
I would also accomplish a very similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine works because there's 2 ruins, but it's not always true.
Of course. So it looks like Zach is starting to roll some dice. I don't know if he's in a psychic phase yet.
Actually, use 2 powers to go off, and they're on a 6. Even in no psychic defense, I just have been failing them.
He just did the psychic phase part. Did not make quick enough, but they're going to do orders and things now. So what psychic powers did you pass, basically,
These guys
first?
are now immune to morale, and they have a 4-up invul.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I'm going to order these guys to move.
Okay.
2, so they go 8.
What are your tanks doing? Just out of curiosity.
These guys, I can't order them to reroll.
I know you can't roll.
So,
and they don't even want to shoot. So yeah,
yes,
they don't matter.
Just make a difference.
You can pop smoke. If you think I'm going to shoot at them this turn, just move your guys. I'm sorry, I should not be making it more complicated for you. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
It doesn't.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. I know how tired you are.
Yeah, that's fine. This guy's actually going to order himself to move.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this such that you probably will be unable to touch this tank no matter what.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just leaving both of them open to you. If you want it.
I was wondering if I could touch them. I was going to touch them.
I mean, you're going to touch them if you want to. I can't stop you. Okay, so I'm going to fire my first Mana Core.
Okay.
It's going to go into your Inceptors that are in the open. They're -1 to hit.
Okay.
I'll reroll a 2. Still a 2.
So here's the first Manticore firing. Zach really needs to get some powerful punch right now.
I got 3.
Okay.
3 more 2s.
The big swing moment. This is pretty much Zach's only firepower. It's got to count.
I'm going to CP the 1. Okay, 3.
Well, I'll save them both.
All right, there's 3. I CP the 1.
Oh, sorry. I'm not in cover, so I take that one.
Okay.
All right,
Six of
Colin
them
only
again?
failed
I
one
made
save against the first
One of
Manticore.
them, so he's got one woman left.
Didn't you promise me those were going to work before?
And then he made
I think I
one of the
failed
Philip
all
Pains.
of
The
them
first
on a
Manticore
previous
didn't
game,
even
so
kill him
yes.
after.
This is
I have
why.
one left on a dude there. Duder, as it's called. That was pretty exciting.
Hitting on 5s feels really bad.
I was surprised you didn't shoot
It
these
looks
ones,
like,
but I guess they're also another
one of the
armor save.
Inceptor
So
squads
I
is
did the math,
-1 to
and
hit.
it's 1054
I
on
don't
them
know what's
versus
giving
1
it
8.
that.
Okay.
But you're going to now
Should be the White
transhuman no
Incursor
matter what I
strategy.
do.
There's 2 Inceptor units, so I would
So
assume you would have
we'll
just
shoot the ones in
chopped
cover
the
that
other
aren't -1 to hit.
And I'll make them transhuman.
I got a 4 and a 2. I'll reroll the 2. 8. A Manticores into transhuman guys in cover is actually surprisingly inefficient. They don't do much, especially when I hit with 3.
Just-
Yeah, honestly, once you had the transhuman up, I
1.
probably wouldn't be shooting this unit.
Basically nothing because
Saved
you got
it.
Apothecary. Okay.
Haha! One
Especially-
turn
And
of
Colin made
surviving.
that save.
yeah.
There's just literally no damage.
Okay,
Well, the minute I roll cold on that, the plasma inceptors are all gone.
that's true.
That's the thing.
So I'll dominate.
What's that?
I'll
And
dominate.
it sounds like that's the end of Zach shooting right there.
Can I see anything else?
I'll
I don't think I can.
don't think you
two,
can see
if
anything
it
now.
goes
That's
well,
kind of the
you
point.
decide.
Is Zach not
Are you
moving?
upstacking me over there?
I
Just
am.
so I know.
I am, yeah. I have like 6 or 7 buddies.
Just
yeah.
so I know. Okay, you can put us back to that.
Back to you guys. John and Nick, it's back to you guys.
Alrighty. Yeah, Gnarlingsley Johnson. I do actually think that it would have been a better call to go after that Vanguard veteran unit up front. Frankly, I would have split the Manticores up because right now he is 100% getting tagged. There's just if Colin wants to get into combat and start tagging tanks, these Vanguard veterans are getting it done. Yes, 3-up saves are rough, but again, no feel no pains essentially on a flat 3 on a 2 wound with a 6 feel no pain. You're probably killing him straight through. And also wounding on 2s is just much better than shooting the -1 to hit Inceptors. Again, if he had pushed out to the far right corner, he could have actually gotten line of sight. And at that point, he pops the CP, hits on 3s. So hit on 3s, wound on 2s, as opposed to the hitting on 5s, wounding on 4s that he went for.
Well, anyways, I think Colin here has to really push out and go for the throat here. I think if he has the play to play another KG turn and try to outrange the 18-inch plasma guns, but he's not going for that strategy. And I don't think that's a sustainable strategy for the White Scars. He's set up to go for the throat, even on turn 2 before he hits Assault Doctrine. He doesn't need it right now. He needs to kill as many guardsmen as he possibly can, tag up Leland Russes. Hopefully, if Colin's really clever, he can wrap multiple things depending on Zach's placement. So even Desperate Breakout can't save everything, and then just try to shut down all of the vehicles, eat the plasma to the face, and then win the game from there.
Yep. It looks like the first Vanguard veteran unit is streaking right over the conscript screen, no problem. They're going to hit an unbuffed unit of guardsmen, almost certainly kill it, and it looks like they've got an easy 2 vehicles to consolidate into, maybe even more, depending on what kind of stratagems or plays Colin wants to pull.
That's the speed of White Scars right there. That looks like a huge jump. Honestly, it does, but that's just what White Scars do. You roll a decent 4-up on that advance roll, and you're flying downtown.
Yep, and the second unit's into the exact same hole. This is
like a
this is gonna
4-up
be
with Plume as the
really
Plainsrunner,
painful.
you're moving 17, 18, 19 inches. Isn't it nuts? You're like Eldar jet bikes.
Absolutely. Now, what's going to be interesting is to see if Colin tries to knock out the other conscript mob. One is a 4-up Envuln. Frankly, I would expect that a Plasma Inceptor unit is just going to put a lot of shots into it to thin it down, and then you've got so many units to charge into it if you need to. But if he brings out both the Intercessor unit behind the crates and that Incursor unit just on the objective, he just rapid fires and charges into the conscripts, he's going to kill quite a few of them. In Tactical Doctrine, he's got the AP on those bolt guns. He's going to get a lot of damage done. We'll see how much Colin wants to bring out. I think that being aggressive right now is 100% the right play. Go get right into Zach's army. Start tagging all these vehicles. You can probably tank only the plasma if you're not getting shot by anything else. And it looks like you could genuinely tag both tank commanders and a Manticore this turn without actually putting in that much effort. There's a wonderful White Scar stratagem that lets a Vanguard veteran or any unit fly consolidate 6 plus d6 inches. If one Vanguard veteran squad kills the guardsman in front, which let's be clear here, folks, it will. That giant consolidate could tag both tank commanders at once, and that could be disastrous. We'll see here. Now, I do want to emphasize, though, that there is still this giant plasma attack coming in from reserves. Colin does have to be careful here. There is always the risk of overextending. I think aggression is the right play, but overextending is always something you have to worry about.
Colin's going for a really interesting approach here. It seems like he's going down the center now, in addition to that Vanguard push. So the side flank, the right flank is going to be protected by the ruin to his right now. And the middle is going to be screened out by those Vanguard veterans who are going to eat a million plasma gun shots, but they're the front line. That's what they're there for. So that's also what's going to be trying to be wrapping tanks in combat for Desperate Breakout and all that. So Zach's plasma isn't going to be able to hit that core that is in the dead center of the table right now if Colin's turn goes according to plan here.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like Colin's pre-measuring just to make sure that these Bladeguard veterans are screening out the side edge a little bit. I don't think he wants to get any plasma guns into his characters, and well, frankly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, Colin's playing around this plasma stuff beautifully, really.
Yeah, this can be super interesting to watch. I'm curious if that Intercessor unit behind the crates is going to commit, or if it's going to wait there, maybe as a response unit, just because with it just 15 shots, it's actually just good at killing the plasma command squads. Those things are very fragile if you can hit them. Well, it's turn 2. He's got no choice. Oh, you mean stay in Tactical Doctrine and not the turn? Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think he needs Assault Doctrine at all in this
It's
game.
one of those, well, unless he makes the plan, I'm going to kill the Russes this turn.
Yeah, I guess he'll decide that on his turn 3.
You decide that. I mean, he will probably go into Assault Doctrine just because, like, White Scar's Assault Doctrine. Like, I don't think he's got the reps to think about that yet, but I do think there is consideration there.
Yeah, this actually wouldn't be a terrible position for it if he's got all these Intercessors alive. I would honestly take the Intercessors to the bottom left and step them off the objective and just kill more conscripts. Just murder these. And frankly, you know, Zach can outflank some plasma over there, but I don't think it's actually that big a deal.
We had a great question from Nerling. How does Zach win from here? He can't see the line, but it's John's list. So I think the line is, and I'm not saying that it'll happen, but the line would be do every combat and casualty manipulation jink you can to ensure these veterans don't catastrophically wrap you. I mean, you're going to get tagged. Don't get wrapped multiple times. That's the goal here. So assuming that happens, then the Russes and Manicores scatter to the 4 ends of the earth, and then you plasma the veterans away, you plasma the Bladeguard that are on the kind of inside of the ruin away on the right there, and you plasma the Intercessors that are inside the top left objective there away. So now you kind of have damage all over the table, and you have actually reduced Colin's army. I think that is the one.
Yeah, and Zach is only looking at the next turn here. He needs to do immediate damage. He's not worrying about the scoreboard.
Yeah. No, nothing I said was about the scoreboard for a reason. Yeah.
And I think the first thing is Zach needs to be very careful during his turn. Look for opportunities. Holy goodness. Look at the speed of that unit. That must have been a Vanguard veteran unit that just jumped from behind the crates in the center. Those weren't Intercessors. Those were Vanguard veterans. They just jumped straight over the conscript screen. They're going right into the Russ.
That would have been a good target for the Manticores just because they're in the open from those crates. Or actually, are they?
No, they would have gotten cover.
They got covered. That's silly.
No, the win condition here is be careful during Colin's fight phase. Maybe look at using an interrupt to base something and prevent pylons.
Yeah. Use every trick in the book.
Every trick in the book. Try to keep Colin from tagging 3 tanks. The front Russ and the front Manticore, they're as good as tagged right now, and that's not changing.
Yeah. My big thing is don't get double wrapped. If you can get double wrapped and do anything else, even better.
Yep. And then he just needs to fall back, blow away the Vanguard veterans in front of him, put some firepower into the Plasma Scepters. And again, scatter away.
Now this Vanguard veterans up on the left flank too. That takes away that Rust. That takes away. Well, I didn't think the Rust was going to fire because there's Incursors over there.
It's more about just.
That's more to deal with on that flank, and there's not much to deal.
Well, actually, I think that Rust is going to get trapped against the ruin wall.
Oh.
It's about to happen. And he can't. Zach can't let another unit get wrapped.
The collapse of the left flank might be the end of this win condition.
Yeah,
Like, honestly,
this is
might
already
be checkmate.
yeah. Colin's executing perfectly, and I think Zach kind of made some misplays on his turn 1 in deployment.
I think deployment in turn. I don't even hate deployment. I actually like deployment. The thing I dislike was the 2 plasma squads, but that's a whole different line to see. Turn 1, I just disagreed with, and I think we're seeing Colin not make mistakes in capitalizing.
No, Colin is executing this perfectly so far. I can't think of a single thing I really would have done differently at this stage.
I don't know what those Bladeguard. Well, now that those Intercessors are saving the Bladeguard, I know what the Bladeguard are doing.
I assume they're going to charge into the conscripts and just get against that wall.
Away. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, Zach is just going to get overrun. Even if all 30 plasma guns shoot next turn, it's not enough.
I don't want to throw in the towel just yet. There's always room for. Remember, the Russ have non-blast sponsons in the multi-meltas. They can shoot in combat. So frankly, maybe he leaves 1 Russ in combat with the blade.
We've said it all day. Forbes be like that. So Colin takes some plasmas on storm shields. They die a little faster than they should, and all of a sudden we're looking at a game again.
Yeah. So there's still room for it. But right now, Colin's making all the moves necessary, and it already is looking like he's in a decent position.
Yeah, Zach needs to 180 this game right now.
Yep.
He needs to start playing like he means it, and the plasma needs to do the work.
He needs to rely on this plasma. This plasma needs to do a lot of heavy lifting. Frankly, I expect he's going to desperate break out the Russ on the left. He may even bring plasma over there to try to clear those squads out.
It all depends how the wrapping goes on this. This is a really, I don't know which squads are which, what models are placed. It's hard to see on the screen. I'm sure everyone's struggling with that, but that's really going to determine what the options are for desperate breakout. Like how much can Zach stop the combat manipulation Colin's going to do?
Absolutely. So it looks like Colin's about to start rolling a decent amount of dice, which means we are out of the movement phase. If we want, can we maybe boost the audio of the players?
Yeah, I'm going to turn them on right now.
Perfect.
All right, so I realized that I lucked out by the oh, I'm sorry, the Apothecary will heal that wounded guy. There we go. I lucked out pretty hard in the shooting phase by the mana cores not killing these guys. If I hang back until turn 3, which I often do with White Scars, Zach's going to get 1,000,000 points in the meantime, and these guys are going to get eventually decimated by the mana cores. He will simply roll hot at some point. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill some mana cores and a bunch of guardsmen here. We're going to kill a bunch of guardsmen here. We're going to touch every vehicle we can. If the turn goes the way that I want it to, the only vehicle on his turn that will get to shoot me is that Russ right there, and Zach knows that. The plasma is going to try to come in this turn. I have it blocked here. Friendly game and all. I have these guys here scrambling. I could have scrambled with the Incursors in his deployment zone, but I'd rather they charge the conscripts and touch the tank. It ended up that the Vanguard vets moved really far, and that trivialized that. The Chaplain may look like he's on a suicidal mission, but he's going to charge guardsmen and push them off that objective, and also create a 9-inch bubble of no plasma there as well. So then the plasma will have to come in over here, which might be hard if I can get these guys deep enough. So.
When I chose to deep strike all my plasma, I believe I lost the game.
You know, Lennon, who of course is listening to us, he likes the idea of putting the plasma in a chimera. Sure. And having 1 chimera in the list, because then you can put 10 plasma in it, and it can drive around net wreck and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that sounds like a hoot.
I think if I had a bunch of command squads sitting in between all 4 of these vehicles right now, that'd be really great.
It would be helpful, yes.
And I don't. There's a problem.
All right, so.
As a matter of fact, that chimera can hold 12 plasma guns.
Is going to shoot the closest mana core.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to overcharge, and I'm always going to shoot the green gun first.
Sounds great, man.
Okay. So this is the 5 guys. We're reeling ones to hit. We're reeling ones to wound, and they're +1 to hit.
They're
not +1 to hit. The 4 guys are
because your Chaplain is not a wise Orator. He's a crappy Orator.
He put it on the wrong guys. It's not his fault.
The Inceptor's like, man, here and that.
So for the 5 guys, here's the first guy. He's going to shoot 5 times.
You said greens first, right?
Yes, always first.
I would like you to borrow my move from yesterday and just blow 2 of your models up. Is that possible?
It happens to me all the time. And? Okay.
I was ready for it.
4 wounds. AP 3. Wait, when do I get AP extra, AP and plasma? They're assault weapons.
It's
so
turn 2.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So yeah, it's AP 4.
Yeah.
So just punch us. They take damage. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Here's the next guy. Maybe I overcommitted here. 2 and 2. I felt like just killing the tanks would be good. Didn't die.
Okay, do I explode? I don't.
Okay. I need to roll the final 2 guys. The final guys.
Are you required to roll them?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Uh-huh. I am, yes.
I thought the sequence ended when there was no target.
Nope. Okay, nobody died.
Okay.
Okay, the other 4 guys kill conscripts or shoot that mana core. We'll shoot that mana core because mana cores are jerks.
Sure.
Now I've seen that it's prodigious amounts of overkill, and these guys are hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put... Also, degraded mana cores are useless against me. So I'm going to put 2 into the mana core. No, I'll put... No, I'm just being silly. No, no. All 4 hitting on 2s, though.
It looks like this second Plasma Scepter squad is going after
Is
the
there
next
10 men
Manticore.
there? Are there 10
Looks
men
like
in
Colin
the
is just trying to knock him out right now.
All right, let's put 2
And
of
he's
them
actually
into
AP4
one of those 10
tactical
men.
doctrine, so it looks so the Manticores aren't even going to get saves against
And then we'll
this.
do 10 of them into that mana core.
Sounds good. By 10 of them, you mean 2?
What?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
By 10, you mean 2?
What?
You said I'll put 10 of them into it. I just mean you meant 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Here's the first guy into the guardsman.
You don't need to overcharge this. You can roll all at once.
Oh, well, I got 6 hits and 6
Okay.
dead guardsmen. And then I got... Thank you. I did not overcharge that. 6 hits.
Okay, they're dead.
Okay, I killed 10 guardsmen. Woo, got me. Oh, I got kill more on the last turn.
You did indeed.
We did not mark that.
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other 2 guys were
Colin
shooting
is
the
saying he
mana
got Killmore on the last turn. I don't think he actually killed any units.
core. 4
I
shots.
don't know what he killed.
That's fair. I don't think he did.
4 hits. 3 wounds.
On the mana core?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't get
6 damage.
Okay.
Here's the other ones. Ooh.
Or 6 shots.
He's really mad at you.
For a second, I was like, well, maybe I will survive this.
Maybe you'll live through this, yeah.
No,
6 hits?
You didn't kill any of your models yet. This is rude, Colin.
I agree. But this is reroll 1s.
He does not explode.
He's dead.
All right, so the second Manticore is dead.
Okay.
Immediately that
was fun.
puts a
I enjoyed that.
massive damper in Zach's chances. This is already looking like Colin's going to run away with this one, honestly.
I killed
You don't like to be
on this
negative.
objective right here.
It was a guard.
And then Zach didn't kill anything of mine.
To be fair, Zach was dealt a very crappy hand.
I feel
Don't know
like,
where to go second.
this-
It's
John
starting
can
with
believe
6
whatever
wounds.
he wants. Let's go with that.
I think this board, especially with this piece right here, really punishes
There's
me
not
when
really a
I'm
win
on the table.
condition to be
I need plasma table so I can clean this off.
Franklin,
You were
oh, they-
trying. He needed.
I mean, not to say that
From
Zach
him into
played
those
perfect.
Sounds good, man. Do
It's
it.
not. But
The scenario couldn't have been.
this
more
this
unfavorable.
couldn't have been harder.
All right. Well, I think we should take this opportunity to remind people
John
that
was right,
Hammer
by
Out
the
Cancer
way.
is in
I
fact
like
a
these guys
charity
much better than
event.
the assault
There
interceptor.
are still a few giveaways going on. You should check out the website charityhammer.com where you can still donate money. I think so far we are actually north of $11,000 donated. That is in support of the Fred Hutchins Cancer Research Institute, as well as the family of Vincent Price, who is a local gamer in Seattle who unfortunately is suffering at the hands of cancer. So the wonderful 40K community, spearheaded by Charity Hammer, is coming together to try to do what they can to help. And honestly, this is just some of the wonderful stuff that you see about the 40K community is how it can come together and support its members. So if you want to donate, we would certainly encourage it. Now we understand these are trying times, and if you can't, we understand. But certainly we would appreciate any support that you can lend. Again, that is charityhammer.com.
They don't see anybody.
All right, I turned them back on after you did the promo.
Okay. These guys into here?
Thank you.
Cool. Oh, that's all the dice.
Well, I think I like where I'm
And
at.
he apparently didn't
Yeah,
kill
you like what I'm
a
already
10-man
doing?
guard
I
squad in
wanna
the
jump
upper
over
left
you.
last turn. We just thought it was a part of the conscript squad.
I care less about the objective right now and more about being in your deployment zone.
Okay.
So I'm going to fight them from this side.
I don't believe I'm allowed to come in just within an inch of my table edge until turn 3. Do you know if that's correct?
I don't know that.
Okay.
We might
You
need
can
to
come in
tactical
within
reserve
the
rules as I
field
take
on
the board
turn
from
2.
you.
Yeah. I mean, if I can,
Zone
then
it.
actually it's not a big deal to reserve. I don't. On turn 2, okay, within an inch. Okay, so I can't just deploy on the edge and shoot you. Okay.
Unless you're, but you still have to be 9 away from me or no?
No, if you're within an inch of your edge, it's just anything goes on your own edge.
Okay.
So actually, that actually makes this much less deathly. I will have some play.
Yeah, you'll kill some of my stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know if it's
Zach is going to be able
for
to do
all
some
of them
damage.
or not,
I
but
doubt it's going to be
Incursors are
enough.
gonna charge your dudes.
Doesn't look like he's going to be able to arrive in rapid fire range of the
I
plasma
got a
scepters.
5.
Then he's just
Oh,
going to
you're
get
gonna shoot
another
those
wave
dudes
of
first.
massive shooting
Can I
and
shoot
getting
them?
charged.
Do you mind?
I'm
Like
charging
that,
them.
but yes, do it. My guardsman can my conscripts that's terrible, but you can do it.
We're just
Over
going to
the
go back a
conscripts
step because I
behind
did forget those guys were over there, and Zach and I are good buddies, and he's going to let me shoot them.
Go for it, man. You can't change the past, bro. Well, so you mean they didn't actually shoot? They're just playing at it?
I'm going to call that irrelevant. That's what I'm going to call that. The Bladeguard are going to charge. 10. Hi.
Bladeguard just connected with the big conscript blob. I wonder if Colin's just going to charge all the Inceptors in as well.
We'll
Just
do a full
get
pressure.
more skills, more damage. Just start
I do
killing
actually
conscripts.
want them to
You know, that's a
be-
great point. North
Well, I guess it
Star
doesn't matter, 'cause my characters
Studios.
aren't going to get got here.
This is 2 days,
My
13
characters are
games.
closest
You
to
know,
them. You're not
we're
gonna be able to
critiquing
get an
their
angle
play.
that
I'm
lets
I'm
you-
pretty sure that it's trying to be done right now. This is a
I'll leave one
marathon.
Bladeguard back just to
No one's
make sure
excited
that
about the last mile. of a
we know that
marathon.
if you come in over here, you're not just blowing up all the characters.
No, just relieved the end is in sight.
The Chaplain will charge something.
Orange guard?
What's that?
Orange guard? It's the only choice.
Okay.
Everyone else is on the other side of a wall.
Okay.
I don't think there's... Oh, no, there are some purple guys there you could charge.
Orange Guard.
Chaplain Biker is rumbling into some guardsmen. At this point, Colin's just putting max pressure in. But honestly, can Zach actually
I'm
spare enough
taking
plasma
objectives,
guns to
that's
deal
what
with
I'm
that Chaplain?
Great to me, man.
May actually get bigger out.
What's going on?
There's...
Okay. The front plasma inceptors will charge.
Yep.
Inceptors are charging into the conscripts as well, and you know what? Why not, right? You know, they're still Space Marines. They're still going to be making 3 attacks each.
All my rerolls are
Once
here.
you're by the
All my
wound,
buffs are here.
wounding those guardsmen on 2, and since they've got a 4 pinball and they're only 1 wound, AP and strength don't
This is
matter.
a
Just
10?
drop dice on it.
Yes. Purple 10.
By itself? So these guys will charge this way.
Okay.
Ooh, I could charge that Russ over there, couldn't I? And just leap over your line?
Yeah, I thought you might try and do that. I don't know what you need to roll to get there, but it's not high. Not that high.
Colin is debating charging the Manticore. Frankly, or the Lehman Russ,
can't
pardon
do
me. Frankly, I don't
anything?
think
I mean,
that's
it turns out
necessary
Russ
just to
is
take
off.
the Overwatch, because I
can
assume Zach would
Overwatch
go
it,
ahead and
that's
just put
bad.
2
Almost
CP
certainly.
to Overwatch
I
and
have
then
my 2
Overwatch
CP
on
ready.
5s. I think he would just be better off charging the various guard units, consolidating in, and just
Because I'm not
taking
going to do
risks.
anything damage-wise to it. So these guys will charge those guardsmen right in front of them. They got it 9, which means they're going to jump over.
Okay.
So they're going to go over the guardsmen, and then they're going to be right
What-
next to those
What are
tanks.
these 5 Vanguard vets
consolidating.
doing this turn, Zach? Well, they're going to kill 10 guardsmen. But they're going to
shoot
do
both
it and then
Manticores
touch 2
touch my
tanks.
plasma
So I'm going to forgive them for their lack of offensive output. What?
Seems legit.
And then those tanks will kill them, maybe. And that's okay. I'm just going to go like this with these guys.
Sounds good, man.
So 1 Van Vet squad, it looks like, is going to engage both Russ. And then
You have 4 pinballs.
the other one is just going straight into the
Should be a
conscripts,
thing.
I may live through it.
piling more attacks onto them.
Charge, charge,
It's all good, man. Do it.
charge. You might interrupt somewhere. Guardsman.
I
Okay,
don't know where I would interrupt where my models were going to live long enough to matter.
right?
And everything has a 2-up save.
Zach has a pretty bleak outlook on the charge.
There's
here,
a lot.
but
There's a lot to be
frankly,
said for
I
that, Zach.
don't blame him.
Let's start simple. We'll start with these 10 guys into them. I'm going to walk away, but basically they're going to kill them, and then I just want to touch both tanks.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can fight with at least, like, I don't know, 4 or something of them.
That's probably fine.
I'm going to ask you to roll it because you could bomb it.
Okay.
16 dice.
17 if somebody has a red hat.
I don't see a red hat.
Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Great Evil One, you are.
Well,
correct.
in that case, I'll actually do the thing. I'll pile in.
Okay.
The tank is touched.
It looks like he's already engaging a tank with a consolidate,
That guy
even if he
behind
doesn't
this
make
guy touching
these
that tank.
guardsmen, which,
Everybody's
again, it
fine.
looks like the guardsmen are probably
And he's within
done
an
here.
inch of the other tank too?
Can be, yeah, can do like that.
Okay, thanks.
There you go.
Okay. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what Marines would do if Vanguard vets actually got nerfed.
I'm sure they will. Or those go up like 6 points a model or something.
I was surprised that they didn't already.
You missed like twice.
I did miss like
really
twice,
good
Zach,
roll
you're
from
right.
Colin, and then he's got rerolls on the wound. This is
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
certainly a
yeah.
dead
I'm
guardsman
just
squad
gonna
right
roll
about now.
3's re-rolling. Okay, they're dead. That was a great time.
If you were going to fail there, you would have done it by bombing the hit roll, not the wound roll. You did not avail yourself of that
All right.
opportunity.
Okay,
Both
I'm going to go
Demon
with
Russ are now
my
in combat.
Intercessors
Manticores
next.
are
Plasma
the last
Intercessors.
Demon Russ is almost certainly about to be in combat.
Intercessors.
And that right there is a bulk of.
I'm just doing them next because they're the most
Inceptors.
likely to get pulled out.
None of the
Oh yeah,
rocks
sorry,
are trapped.
Inceptors. They are re-rolling ones to hit.
Is
They are
shield
near
or
con.
object?
They're going to reroll ones to hit, and then they'll be wounding on 2s and rerolling ones.
Are they still +1 to hit? That's probably only in shooting.
It's only true.
Yeah.
It would be.
Of course, because otherwise I give it to the Bladeguard every turn.
Yeah.
This is 2s, re-rolling 1s, because they're next to con.
Right. How many?
3, 6, 9. But this is 4 pinballs.
It is.
Alright, so 9 invulns on the conscripts. These Inceptors are just starting the grind. It's going to take some effort to kill all these guardsmen, but you know what? You might as well start somewhere, getting free attacks, because frankly, the conscripts are not hitting back hard.
Next up is the Bladeguard. One of the Bladeguard
It's
does certainly
totally
not get to fight.
realistic.
I don't think I have any way to
I
push
could
it out and
actually
make it
just-
harder with
No,
the
not yet.
models.
Well, that Colin could actually just trap these in combat.
One of the Bladeguard's not going to fight this time. I don't know if we were muted when I talked about this. I have a Bladeguard over here just to make sure if plasma comes in over there, they're not shooting directly into the characters.
Sure, yeah.
1, 2. I was telling them. In case
I
you're
wasn't
wondering.
talking to you, bitch.
I wasn't talking to you.
All right, so more
3
text.
going
This
once.
looks like a Bladeguard unit.
This doesn't look like a good roll.
You're rolling ones. We'll see how much damage these Bladeguard do. Again, these conscripts have a 4 invuln, so it's just going to take a little bit of time.
Okay. 4, 8, 10.
Jim Goose, Kor'sarro Khan has some really good inbuilt special rules. He's a great character, very cheap. And as well, he does give a +1 to wound.
You can even go in an impulsor.
I'd like these guys to pile in and wrap this guy, so you have to spend CP if you want to back up.
Oh, yeah. I've got CP for that.
How much do you have?
4.
Okay.
I'll have 5. I mean, you know, your Intercessor. Oh, you already fought with the Inceptors. Yeah, the guardsmen are pretty survivable. I mean, they're not.
All right, so it looks like there's still some attacks to be done in the top left. There's a Vanguard squad and an Incursor squad into those conscripts. That may be the dice that Colin is counting out now because he has
Vanguard
quite a
vets,
handful.
they are not next to Khan. He's way over here.
3s.
3s.
Oh, no, this is more into the 4 pinball. I personally don't think an impulsor is necessary for White Scars. I honestly think they're just fine walking around. Frankly, White Scars are so fast they don't actually need to come back.
Yeah, I think the impulsor back when it had fly.
Well,
Even I can live
there's a
without
lot of conscripts still alive.
fly was
4,
really nice.
8, 12.
Fly was definitely the winning factor.
Just don't like vehicles that
Lost,
don't have to work the hard way around.
Okay.
Unless you're
Okay.
talking to pension.
I'll save my 2 CP, thank you.
Oh, make it so you can back away.
Yeah.
But on pile in, I can't go through your models, or I can.
Cannot.
Okay.
No, I just made a wall. You can't get around.
I'm still going to touch him.
Okay. He likes that.
I can't fit through there.
He has strange taste in things.
Okay, the chaplain will do his attacks into that guardsman squad.
How many extra you get?
2, so he's got 7.
Sure.
2s. All right, I'll kill 5.
All right, looks like the chaplain just mulched half of the guardsman squad and is just working on thinning down the numbers.
Everyone that can is gonna punch your.
I'm not done
Oh,
fighting.
we have more. Oh yeah, over here.
I kind of charged you all over the place.
Yeah, do it, man.
There's 2 more units
Oh,
at
actually,
least
wait,
for
hold up,
Colin
hold
as well.
Hold up. Pull them all back. How smart is Zach? Zach is pretty smart, right? I'm gonna spend 2 CB and tag him.
Okay,
I'm by interrupting,
okay.
so I can at least.
All right, so it looks like Zach is using an interrupt
Like this.
to try and base an Incursor
All right, fight me.
so that
Oh yeah,
it
actually
won't
to fight.
tag the lemur.
3, 4, 5. I was wondering calf crabs gonna lift up so much.
Now, that is a pretty good move. It's just going to be a question of can,
This is here.
because what Colin should do then is start with the Vanguard veterans, try to kill as many guardsmen as possible, and he either pulls away and gets the tank trapped, or he sticks in combat and then the Incursor's got to swing.
Conscripts do a prodigious amount of nothing. They hit with over half in this unit. But then I rolled no 5s to it.
Okay. Here's the Incursors fighting you.
Yep.
All right, so Colin's starting with the Incursors, just trying to punch out guardsmen.
Well, actually, I don't want to do the Incursors first. In case
Oh,
I
nope,
wanna do-
nope, he is going to start with the Vanguard veterans. I think he
Anyway,
realized
I just need the inverse of that all hitting hit roll. Is the only hope of me.
All right, so we'll see how much Colin can get done here. Vanguard first. Killing on 3s with the full rerolls. This is probably a lot of damage here. These conscripts do not have an invuln, so every wound is just a dead model.
Okay, what do we got?
I would like 14 of them to die.
Right, so 14 down, and then immediately it looks like the Incursors are going to be next. Now, if I was Zach here, oh man, I don't know if he's going to have enough left to actually tank the rest of this. He might, but even so, the morale check is going to cripple him, and the unit's going to go down.
Peg them.
Oh, you still might have enough. You might have enough attacks. It doesn't matter.
I don't think. Well, maybe. I don't know. These are only AP1.
Well, I mean,
Oh, they're Intercessor. They're Incursors. They have 3 attacks each on the charge.
And they have AP1.
And then the leader has 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I was going to roll prodigiously too few dice.
3s and 3s.
Prodigiously is not a good use of the word there.
I like their shooting better.
I like those guys shooting. They were hit and wounded with everything, and then you made all the saves.
I was just shocked how you managed to fail all the wound rolls. It was like 6 dice. It was like. All right, these are 6 ups.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 6 ups.
Already 14
You might
models
get to
dead,
touch
and
the
then
tank anyway, Zach.
down
Yeah, you might.
Just make none of those, will you?
The leather 11 down. That's 25 dead between the 2 squads. That's the entire unit. The Russ is going to get based anyway. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Jim Goose,
9,
you're not wrong.
10, 11.
Frankly, this is an absolutely
like
terrible
2 more
spot
to
for
hold
Zach.
you there.
Colin is capitalized early.
Do you want to just pick this straight up
And
while you're here, or
he's
you're going to auto pass
played it
this one
perfectly.
guy?
He also had literally
Oh.
everything stacked in his favor.
Oh, that's
Mission,
true. You
the
might roll a
train
one.
going
Let's see.
first, I think everything was leading to a white
Take
square
that guy
victory
away.
here.
All right, now
I want
punch
to
me back with
say
your
that
conscripts.
I got
but
like, everybody's
stopping
going
this
to the
at this
Scepters.
point, I think this one's over.
Okay.
Nothing. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vanguard.
This is a sad statistic. I don't actually think that Colin has lost a model yet.
That go one? Singular one?
Okay.
And there's 2 leftovers. Using the Bladeguard. Nothing.
Okay. They are immune to morale.
Healed.
That one guardsman though. Oh, his unit exploded. Maybe I only killed 9 of them. Maybe that's all it was.
Well, here.
Jacquini, what are you saying? This
I just
doesn't
forgot to
like
pull it
me?
when you killed
Okay. Oh, punch the chaplain back, man.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how to pronounce that either, frankly. Jane Cobb is rooting for the guard in the chat, saying it looked over at LVO 2 years ago.
These guys hit on
That is
4s.
true. They lost to Castellan, but frankly, white scars are not your Eldar flyers.
Scars are closer to Superiority, and I
get
took
back in the fight over-
Superiority back when Guard was quite strong
Well, you get
because
to shoot
Guard
me
didn't
in
have
combat,
answer
just not
then.
with
They
your
still don't.
But you have like multi-melters, don't you?
And heavy bolters. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think what I do
I
is
expect those 5 Vanguard to die.
I think I smite you twice if I can,
I think
and then
you
I
try.
shoot you, and hopefully I bust one of them free when I hit shoot the demo cannon and get to fire it.
Right.
Oh, I gotta take morale here.
So Zach's talking about smiting with the Ashpath the Inquisitor. Unfortunately, that Ashpath only smites on 1d6, so it's
all of them
not
stay.
particularly likely to
there's 3
pass.
guys still alive
But
over
you know what?
There's,
if you
there's
hit it,
one guy right now, but the other 3.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're on the objective, so
Yeah. So I
That's
get, I get 5
you get a big ol'
points.
5?
Yeah.
okay. I scrambled
Alright,
the
so
second time.
second
I got 3 for
first
engage.
primary,
It is now
that
bottom
appears
of
to be
turn,
it.
which is you.
Um,
You should just you should turn us off and let him take a minute because this is like.
Alright, so looks like they have muted players for a second.
Yep, we've muted them.
All right, let's see. Can Zach dig his way out of this? That's the magical question here. Turn 2, all the plasma can show up. He can. We're swinging for the fences, so let's be optimistic in our assumptions here. So, one Plaza squad neuters the Vanguard squad on the far right by the crates. I don't think it's realistic at all, even optimistically, to assume 1 kills it, but I think 1 neuters it, 2 kills it. So we're going to use that ratio. I think Zach can kill all 3 Vanguard vet squads right in his deployment zone, or the 2 in his deployment zone and the 1 on the side flank there. I think all 3 of those can die to plasma.
And I actually think that he's going to not do that. I think he's going to keep the rest in combat. You're swinging for the fences. You've got multi-meltas. If you shoot the first one, you're probably not getting out. But maybe by the time you've shot all 8 multi-melta shots after smiting with an Inquisitor, maybe, just maybe at that point, you've killed them. And then you can get a Demolisher Cannon out of combat.
Okay, so I'm with it. So it means
Swinging for the fences.
So then those 2 plasma squads that were going to be dedicated to that Vanguard unit, where are they going to shoot instead?
So you can arrive within 9 inches of them on your own board edge.
Yep.
I think you show up right there and you just
show up
start
right there.
18-inch rapid firing into the mob right in front of you.
I agree. I completely agree.
You just try to kill it.
If Zach is serious about trying to win this game, he knows how deep the hole he's in. He's got 2 plasma squads knock out the squad by the armor container on the right. 2 plasma squads knock out the Bladeguard in the center. Leaving Russes solve the Vanguard vets they're in combat with, and 2 plasma squads knock out the plasma squads on the left. And then that's at least Zach's entry point back into the game.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum to get this back on track. Now, frankly, that is an aggressive turn.
That turn kills like the legs right out from underneath the white scars, but we need that kind of turn and to bring the game back.
And he's shooting Space Marines with a 4-up invuln, so this is not a guarantee by any stretch. But if you're going to dig yourself out of a hole, start digging.
And the only unreasonable from a mathematical point of view, the only like far ask we're asking is Lehman Russ is killing the Vanguard vets.
In combat, yeah.
Double plasma into all 3 other squads probably does kill it.
Yeah.
So I think it's, we're not asking for like literal miracles here. We're asking for a little bit of luck.
Yep. And you know what? He does get the psychic phase before he does his orders. So again, you've got an Inquisitor, you've got an Astropath, cast some spells, see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get a smite or 2, do something.
Now, I do want to reiterate, this is the kind of level like where you don't want to be asking for a little bit of luck on bottom of turn 2. That's
also,
where we found ourselves.
Recognize when you're in a hole. It's not, you don't rely on dice on turn 1, but if you're in the hole,
the faster you realize you're in the hole and accept it and do something about it, the better your chances of success are. Like being in denial about the hole, and that's what we saw in earlier's match, which was Colin versus Peter. Peter kind of felt like he was in the hole just straight up on matchup. He got really aggressive early, and it almost worked out for him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He took a couple shots for the fences, hit a few of them, and made it a very interesting game early on.
Yeah,
I think that's what this absolutely was.
That's where Zach is right now. He needs to swing for the fences and hit them.
100%. And he get it done. So it looks like a conscript squad is breaking out of combat, trying to get away from all the units there. It's staying on the objective. I don't think it's going to accomplish much. It's just trying to get out of there. But if nothing else, it does free up all these units to be shot at. I actually think you ignore the Bladeguard. You don't have the right weapons to shoot them right now.
Plasma guns, you're saying?
No, I don't think you shoot them at all. I've got 2 damage guns.
What's standing right next to the Bladeguard? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that's a Vanguard squad right in front of them. I think so that right in front of these Bladeguard, you've got a
plasma scepter.
Or not a plasma scepter. You've got a Vanguard veteran squad. Then there's a second Vanguard veteran squad touching at Russes.
Yeah, I think you ignore the one on the right. Yeah, so I think this turn you go 2 plasma squads into Vanguard vet squad 3 times on the right by the crates, in the middle by the ruins, and then on the left behind the ruin.
Honestly, I give up the left.
I think you fight the left. I think because that objective is important.
There's 2 units there and no guard.
If there's no white scars near it, the only white scars near it are the Vanguard vets. Your goal is to kill.
And the Incursors. That's 10.
Oh, there's Incursors there.
Yeah. Putting enough resources to scrape all of that off, it would require the whole plasma loadout because that Rust fell back and can't shoot.
No, you're right. Well, if you do want to win that back, you could do 4 plasma. Actually, you could probably do 3 plasmas there because the Incursors don't really need 2 plasma squads. They don't get invulns. They'll just die.
Yeah, they'll die relatively quick.
So 2 into the Vanguard, 1 to the Incursors, 2 into these Vanguard on the right here. And then 1 just shoots down the middle while the Lehman Russes handle the one they're in combat with. That's not bad. You'll end up with a few Vanguard vets left alive. Actually, you probably do 2 down the middle and 1 on the far right. So there's probably a few left alive on the right, flanked by the armored containers. But then you have at least 1 back your flanks.
Yep. And there is also a Primaris Chaplain on bike on Zach's last objective. I don't think you have anything to deal with that.
Is that in combat with anything?
It's in combat with 5 guardsmen, and they're going to fall back, but I just don't think...
The plasma can knock him out instead of trying to do chip damage to this far right barricade.
Vanguard, then the Vanguard are going to jump up and kill them.
I mean, the Vanguard are going to live, but I think it's more natural to kill a Chaplain than the Vanguard.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's also easier. It's like 4 failed saves instead of 5.
I have winning on 3s.
Winning on 3s.
I think I'd actually rather shoot the Vanguard still. Just because
Can
the Vanguard has
the bike Chaplain?
You sure can. I'd rather shoot the Vanguard.
Yeah, that's the deal breaker right there. Especially because there is actually value to doing 3 dead Vanguard, but there's no value doing 3 ones to the Chaplain.
Nope. A wounded Chaplain just doesn't care.
Yeah, they do not degrade.
This is a hard hole for Zach to find himself in, but
I mean,
you know
like,
what?
I mean, if we're really swinging for defenses as bad as it is it one plasma squad into every unit and just hope it be real hot 6 times in a row?
I think you ignore the left flank. You bring all 6 units in here. You try to kill both. You try to kill the front 3 Vanguard squads, and then I think you try to kill the Chaplain.
I think with the Russ on the left over here, Zach can actually take it back, and I think that's his ticket to victory because White Scar's backfield is often the weakest point of the White Scar's army. If Zach tries to fight him straight up, he's even if he rolls well and kills everything right in front of him, he's still gonna lose to the retaliation.
That's a good point.
I think he tries
Maybe
to
if
just
he
split
outflanked
it.
all 6 on the left side of that building, maybe he could kill the Vanguard vets there and the Incursors.
That's what I'm saying. Kill the Vanguard. I think it takes 4 to do it safely. 3 will do it. I wish. Like I think
you do 4.
I think so. 4 there, 2 down the middle, and then abandon the right altogether because the
That's
Chaplain and Bike and the Vanguard Red Squad abandon that. Fight the Incursors and fight that with the Russ help.
That's a good point. At that point, though, I feel like that's trying to make the score closer. That's not a win path. Because
I do agree. You're never gonna swing it back.
Yeah. If you're trying to, if
Yeah,
that's trying to win the game,
I think what I'm suggesting is like an 80% chance to have a not bad looking game, and like what John's suggesting is a 10% chance to have a win.
that's exactly the difference, and a 90% chance to have a bad looking.
Yeah.
If you're going for the win, I think you go for it heads up and just try to roll hot and get everything done that you need to. Overwatch, do what you can. I think if you go for the left flank, you'll definitely make that scoreboard more respectable. You'll get 10 points on primary every turn after you knock all that stuff out, but you're never stopping the White Scars from doing their thing.
No, then they're just beating you the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Instead of the.
And you're never getting those assassinate points, which again is one of Zach's secondaries, which frankly looks very hard right now.
They're just about to start shooting, so I'm going to bring them
Zach
back up.
shooting.
Okay. Reroll ones, reroll ones, reroll ones, reroll ones. I'll spend another.
Is there a company
Zach
commander over there doing that? Okay, cool.
One here, one there. I smited off a Vanguard vet.
And then everything else didn't work out.
I'll spend a CP to make everything reroll ones.
What?
I don't quite have 5 orders. I'm putting CP for another order.
Oh, okay.
To get another reroll ones.
Okay. So guys, what we were talking about is because of the building, it's really weird for Zach. He can't actually deploy all of his plasma in a way that can shoot the bulk of my army. My original plan was, the reason the Chaplain is on this weird adventure is I identified that once I'm right here, the Chaplain's actually not that important, especially if I start killing tanks with plasma inceptors. I sent the dude over there hoping Zach would deploy a bunch of plasma to take care of him that wouldn't be focused on this army. That was on purpose. What I didn't realize is that I put him in this position where he has to deploy plasma over there anyways.
so those guys are like, thanks.
It didn't actually get me anything. But Zach did some psychic powers. He just gave a reroll ones to all of those plasma dudes. Not these guys over here, though. Where are you going to start, Zach?
So the first thing I'm going to do is...
tank orders, too.
They're going to reroll ones.
Okay.
So he's going to obviously shoot his multi-meltas and heavy bolter there, and on the hope and the prayer that he busts free, he's going to aim at the 5 in the back. Would you like to transhuman?
I can't transhuman.
With the 5 in the back.
Oh, no, I'm not going to.
I'm just saying, like, it's probably unlikely, but 3 hits.
Okay.
3 wounds.
Multi-meltas?
Yep.
4 up invulse. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is fine. I can lose 2 right now. Well, you might roll 1s for damage.
That's true. Oh, no, it's +2.
Oh, right. So these 2 guys die.
Okay. Heavy bolter. 3 hits.
You stud.
2 wounds. 1 dies.
Yeah, somebody dies. So there's a guy left.
Okay.
Who's going to do the Lord's work and stop the other tank from shooting.
Well, he's already stopped this one from shooting the demo cannon.
Yep.
Next tank is going to declare the same spread.
Okay, and you're doing big gun over
Demo
here?
cannon in the 5, yeah.
Into these?
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay. They're -1 to hit, right?
Yeah.
Fine. He's the only thing you can get to him. Multi-meltas. 2.
He failed them both.
Not even a chance that he can.
No, not even like a reroll to try to make him live.
Not even making it go to the heavy bolter.
Right?
So the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fish on the 3.
Okay, 9 shots. -1 to hit.
He's just going to be a gangster right here.
All right, 4s.
By gangster,
Well, gangster is a different word than I thought. Well, the reroll 1s was huge.
Oh, that's a 5. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got 1 more than average.
I'm going to CP the 1.
Do you have a CP? You've been spending them like crazy.
Yeah, I think I got like 1 or 2 left.
Okay.
I have 2 left.
Right
Okay.
now, it looks
five?
like 1 rust.
Yeah, 5 at run 3.
Okay, 5 6-ups. All right.
1 is good for 2.
Okay, hold
Same
on.
guy is good for 2. So 4 on the first guy, I have 2.
He's dead.
Next one is 2 and 5.
Also
And
dead.
Last one is 5.
Okay, you killed 3. Good job.
I was hoping I could like get lucky. And roll
Oh,
good
there's
on
no
damage
reason
and-
for me to take the 2 closer ones.
Okay.
Just so we're
To
clear.
leave them there just so I can shoot you better?
Yeah, like, why would I do that?
Because you love me, Colin. Okay, so I have some plasma here. It's only got 1 option,
Okay.
so we're going to do it.
You're only winning me on 3s because I'm actually T5.
I'm aware. 1 guy blows his head off.
Okay.
2.
4 ups. I'll save 1. Take 2. Have 5 left.
Next squad. You know, of all the things that... Wow, they hit once with rerolls. 1 wound.
Saved it.
I think, actually, of all the models that are undercosted, the Chaplain's actually one of the worst, most undercosted. He's amazing.
Actually, what's funny is one of our commentators, Nick, doesn't think he's worth his 135 points and doesn't take him. We can talk about that later. Go ahead.
Is that Nick and?
What?
Is that Nick Nanavati?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
because, okay, yes. He's also 4 Bladeguard.
Good point.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead.
That's a fair point. So I'm going to still...
When you say it that way, I think Nick sounds smart.
Yeah, that's true. I'll do a 4 of my dudes with plasma.
How many
and
units have shot so far?
Just these 2.
Okay, cool.
4 plasma into the front Inceptors.
I will transmute them.
Okay. They're trying really hard to kill themselves, and one of them succeeds.
One of them dies. You double rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah, no, one's dead. I'm just...
3?
3?
AP 3? Or is it AP 4?
I don't get nice things.
Is it AP 3?
It's AP3, man.
Okay. Did you kill the blow up that head over from over there
one
too?
guy blew up, too. All right, cool.
So
3.
6s. I fail all of them. So the first guy takes 4
Yeah.
and dies, and the next guy takes 2 and takes 1. So, blat. And then 1 wound left.
Next squad's going to rinse and repeat.
Okay.
They got the memo on hitting targets.
Oh, because these are the ones that hit on 3s.
You guys hit on 3's base, yeah. I got 3 more.
6s. Save 1. The first guy takes 2. He only has 2 left. Or he has 1 left, rather, because he took 2.
Okay.
No, he took 1 because he made us feel no pain. So
Okay.
he's alive,
Okay.
and then he would need to double 6 this, which he doesn't, so he's dead.
Okay. There's 2 guys left in that squad.
What's that?
There's 2 guys left in the front squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
How much more plasma do you have?
not much.
Okay.
I want to kill things, but there's just nothing to do it with. I'll shoot those Inceptors because they just straight kill stuff as opposed to tagging it. And a dead model can't get untagged. 1 guy dies.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, 4.
4?
Yeah.
You got on 4s, right?
Oh yeah, that's
You winning on 4s? I'm just making sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, you might kill him. First guy and second guy. Good job.
Moral victory. At least I
It's
got rid of
almost like they
something.
had already done their job.
Yeah, they came in and did their job. Yeah. I needed to have 1 squad basically dead from the mana cores before this happened.
I know. That's all your plasma, right? You need to shoot those guys over there.
I do. Well, they'll shoot the Vanguard bits.
Okay, I can overcharge.
Uh,
Are they going to YOLO, in other words?
Is there any other way? One of them explodes twice. His gun was just effective. 2 of them die, and then 1 hit. 1 wound. I killed more of my models than yours. Sweet. Take a save.
What's that?
Take a save. It's a 4 on the.
Okay.
1 guy goes splat.
Yep.
Cool.
Zach, you might be amused at how many guardsmen are dead. Or Peter. You might be amused at how many guardsmen are dead on turn 2.
1 wound.
I've been watching the game on Twitch on my phone while I'm sitting in my car.
1 wound.
So yeah, I've been watching guardsmen slowly evaporate.
What happened?
Slowly. I think you're.
What happened?
Yeah, you took a wound from the last gun.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, from last gun.
Yeah.
Saved it.
On the grand scheme of time as perceived by a human being watching Twitch on a phone, it's pretty
Cool,
What's
man.
up? Is that your turn?
I'm done. Oh, actually, you know what?
You have a whole bunch of morale.
Sorry, one thing. There's one thing I forgot to do. These are the las guns at your chaplain.
Okay.
I just didn't resolve them.
Oh, I forgot that he took some wounds.
It took like 2, right?
He's got 5 left. I'm shocked and bewildered that he lived through that.
He has 2 saves. Oh, my plasma rolled terribly.
Save him.
Okay. Yeah, he.
Given the position of those Vanguard Rits, this seems like it's going to be a...
Oh, this is already over.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, one of the guys shot itself free and fired a demo cannon
You
over there.
should take it.
Okay, so I'll let you guys go into the what you thought happened here. But first, I want to say that we are going to be closing raffle entries right just about an hour from now. And then the actual raffles will all be given away at 6 or just after 6. If you could talk about the charity and stuff, John, real quick before you go into the analyze.
So that's
John, are you there? Hello?
Got it. Chaplain charge faster. Didn't get that.
He's been consistently bad.
My entire existence with him.
Oh, do you owe me morale on those 2 Inceptors? Can they fail on a 6?
The leadership 8.
A 6 plus 3 is 9.
There's a ton of
the
40K
fourth
prize
one.
for being raffled out. I think the final grand prize is still on the table, and that is a 2,000 point, fully painted Necron army. That is tournament ready, professionally painted. It's fantastic. You can actually see it on the website. That is charityhammer.com. This is an absolutely wonderful event. I'm really proud of Colin and all the work that and the rest of the crew have put into it happen. Now's a great time to show them our support, and if you can, donate money at charityhammer.com. They have been doing raffles. Every $30 gets you that raffle ticket, and it sounds like the last raffle is going to be going down at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's right about an hour and a half if you don't want to go check where it is local. And they'll be cutting off their raffle entry in about an hour. So donate as quick as you can. I believe that Necron Army is still up for grabs and will be the grand finale. But there's a lot of exciting stuff, so check it out, folks. And as always, we really appreciate your support.
And actually, if you've won something already, you're still in the raffle for the big prizes, and you will obviously forfeit your small prize to get the big one. So, what do you think happened in this last round, John?
All right, so right now this is Colin finishing what I honestly expect to be a brutal turn. The Bladeguard veterans are running at tank commanders. Looks like the Vanguard have already closed in as well. Again, I'm really expecting there to be almost no guard left at the end of this turn. Unfortunately for Mr. Zach, they have just gotten too close and they have turned on Assault Doctrine.
Let's recap it real quick for those just tuning back in. How much firepower did Zach bring to bear and what did it accomplish?
All right, so let's actually start from the top, just in case you weren't here at first. Colin won the roll to go first and decided to go aggressive. He pushed up in the ruins as quick as he could while staying out of line of sight. Fortunately, Zach's indirect did not take a heavy toll. He only wounded a single Inceptor, did not kill a single model. At that point, Colin exploded out on turn 2 and killed almost all of the conscripts, tagged 2 of the Luminars in combat, killed both Manticores, just did a number on Zach's infantry in general. Zach did strike back. He brought in 30 guardsmen from reserve who were toting and accumulated 21 plasma guns. And the tank stayed in combat, tried to shoot the way out. He actually was able to shoot out 1 Vanguard squadron from the tanks. And then the top demolisher cannon was able to go and kill 3 plasma interceptors by itself because they hadn't transhumaned when they were speculatively targeted. The rest of the plasma came in. They did delete 1 Vanguard squad, and it looks like they actually might have finished off one of the plasma interceptor squads, as well as wound the Primaris Chaplain. But unfortunately, right now, that's not enough. Kor'sarro Khan is stepping up, and it looks like he's going to be doing nasty things back.
All right. So no one is talking. Why is no one
That's
talking?
your commentator.
I'm the commentator. Oh, this is what that means. Okay. All right, everybody. What's going on? It's your brown magic friend. John Lennon wants a break, and this is what we're here to do. We're here to talk about what's happening. Colin's pushing up with some intercessors on the left flank. They will probably charge that Lehman Russ because the Overwatch honestly isn't that scary on just 5s, although it is 2 CP and Lehman Russ can just Overwatch on 5s. It's got good guns, like AP4 on the multi-meltas, AP4 on the Demolisher Cannon, but it's just not going to get enough hits to really matter. Especially with the Vanguard coming out from behind, it's one's going to soak the other Overwatch, the other one's going to end that Lehman Russ. That's the end of that.
I can send it back to the players if you want.
That'd be great.
They're done.
No.
None taken. Do an AMA. Have people ask questions of Nick and John?
That's a great idea. Let's do an AMA.
Those are two of the more interesting 40k players. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, that was pretty fun.
Everybody can feel
Hold that
free to
moving.
ask us anything they like.
Let's do some shooting,
John's
huh?
kind of in the other room right now, but I'm here,
Let's shoot
and I will ask
12
whatever
shots
you like, and I will answer
Without
honestly.
reroll
I
ones,
think
but we're not going to overcharge anyways.
I'm also terrible at diplomacy
Into-
and politics, so if you ask me a personal question I shouldn't answer, you'll probably get an answer I shouldn't say.
Holy crap. That's not impressive. I do get reroll ones because of the huge aura from that dude. I killed 5.
Conscripts?
Yeah, from right here.
The conscripts down.
Sounds good.
Conscripts.
2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the 15 shots from those intercessors into the conscripts. Well, I think I'll just take the hits out because that'll be faster.
Yeah, Colin just totally whiffed those interceptor hits. I
don't think they're in reroll
think it's
range.
a little bit
Doesn't
too
matter.
late.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No AP.
This might be too spicy of a question, but how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck
won't pass
wood?
5 of them will die.
Well, that's a great question. I truly don't really like spicy. It just too. But I do think if a woodchuck could chuck wood, it would chuck all of it. You're gonna do something. Do something. John.
So how would you fix White Scars, Nick? Hey Nick, if you're still there, we got a couple questions in the chat. How would you fix White Scars? And then from there on.
No, they killed a tank instead of a conscript.
From across this wall where I can't see you?
My chaplain
Okay.
will shoot the one of the 4-man squads.
Sounds good, man. Do it.
In the back, maybe a back 4-man squad, but they're
Cool.
behind.
Yeah.
He'll hit 4 times.
Okay.
He'll get 2 at AP1.
Oops. I passed one.
All right,
Like what's scouted here?
sure. Why not, right?
Yeah.
I didn't kill very much of your plasma
I mean,
yet.
it's gonna be in combat, but
All right. I think I shot all my shooting. I don't have that much shooting,
okay.
especially when you kill all the plasma
I want
interceptors
to
at
see
one
your
turn.
Ultra Bladeguard pick this thing up.
Oh, that's not even going to be hard. The Bladeguard are going to charge both tanks. Would you like to overwatch?
I gotta see. I got 5 on it.
What's that?
I said I got 5 on it.
5 on it?
Yes. I'm spending a C3. The Meltus.
6s, because you don't have the extra one. Right?
Oh, there's one that didn't work. 1 wound.
Saved it.
All right, we're back, everybody.
Nice, good job.
I might not sound as beautiful as I did before,
You did a good job.
but that's because
Good job. It's 2 hits good.
You're good. You sound fine.
Was there an echo or no?
No, you sound fine. You're good.
Okay, good.
So the next question we had was, how would you fix white scars?
How would I fix white scars? I would start by fixing plasma scepters. I don't think points were their problem, although I do think 55 is fine. I think blast is the problem. I would just make their guns assault 2 and call it a day right there. That way it's not an obscene amount of shots when you shoot infantry, and I think that would do a lot. You probably also do have to nerf Vanguard vets. I don't know how. It could be a points thing. It's probably a war gear options thing, but something's got to change about Vanguard vets.
Yep, I think Vanguard veterans are the actual only broken unit for white scars. Inceptors are just generally a little too good at what they do. I would also maybe look at just generic Space Marine nerfs. I think the Primaris Apothecary, Rites of War, and the Plasma Scepter Blasts are prime candidates, but I'm willing to admit Vanguard veterans could probably use either a points increase or maybe a change to their rules.
All right. So the next question from Tyler is, what's the best worst army, and is there an army so bad it's good?
Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights are great, but they're also kind of not
they
great.
They are the best. I'd agree. They are the best worst army. Is there an army so bad it's good? Also Imperial Knights. I think that's the same answer. Is Nick drunk? These are the questions. No, I'm not. I wish.
The next one from J Johnson 95. I'm not reading it. It's too long. You guys just answer him.
What worse would you want to see to bring white scars into line with everyone else without taking what makes them special? I would say the Plasma and Scepter nerf will just do a lot. White Scars Plasma Scepters are actually oddly better than everyone else's Plasma Scepters because they can fall back and shoot. So can Ultramarines, but they're supposed to. White Scars just fall kind of into that. And then Vanguard Vets, I think Storm Shields either need a nerf. Storm Shields need a nerf. Let's just leave it at that. Storm Shields need a nerf. I don't know why they can't get Storm Shields right. A 4 pinball. Is that not good enough? A Comet Shield is just a 5 pinball. Make a Storm Shield a 4 pinball. Can we leave it at that? Is that too much to leave it at? It's 4 points. What do you want?
I think I 100% agree on that. I actually don't think you need to nerf any specific White Scar rules. I think all of their changes could be addressed just in the actual Marine Codex.
There you go. Would Storm Shields preventing extra attacks work?
Certainly wouldn't hurt. I think maybe the Lightning Clutch shouldn't give an extra attack. I think the points change is just fine for it. I think maybe if Lightning Claws just don't give an extra attack, period, and the Chainsword stays the only extra attack weapon, I think that becomes a lot more reasonable. It's the weight of attacks that Vanguard veterans get that really push them over the edge.
I know about Chaos Knights. All right. What makes Chaos Knights so much better than Imperial Knights is the Allegiance traits just being better than the ones for the Imperial ones. I think, and I'm not the most experienced Chaos Knight player, so take this with a grain of salt, but I do think the Warlord trait to make one Knight count as OPSEC and count as 10 models is tremendous because where Knights struggle is the mission, and that directly helps with the mission. Their Dark Allegiance traits, or whatever how they're called, that like toughness 9 Knights and stuff, that is really good. Like that legitimately is really good. So I still think Chaos Knights suffer from I'm just in a Knight problem, but the Warlord trait really does help differentiate them. Also, they can get things like the double Melt the Knight for fairly cheap, and that's always lovely.
I am, of course, an Imperial loyalist, so I have to say that Imperial is better than Chaos, but genuinely I think that both of them are pretty good. By the standards of Knights. Alright, so it looks like it's just Colin about mopping things up. The last of the Plasma Guardsmen are getting picked up here. Do we want to go ahead and listen to the players for just a second?
Sure, that's fine.
All right.
Okay. This is actually punching, but fine.
2?
3. Oh, +1 to wound.
Is that only infantry?
No,
Is
no.
infantry or character?
Or, yeah,
Or
yeah.
it works on
Colin
characters.
absolutely gives it to
It
him.
works on characters. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
5, 6?
6 AP4s, you're dead.
They're AP4?
It's AP3 plus Disdoctrine.
It's AP2, man.
The Benediction of bullshit.
It's AP2. It's AP2, 3 damage.
I'll look. Benediction.
Looks like we have some more questions rolling in, John, if you want to go through those.
Alrighty, so next question up is from Cap 5 Lock. Can the Megara list work with Chaos Knights too? Yeah, 100%. Again, which is better, Chaos versus Imperium? I really think that I actually prefer the Imperial for the relics and warlord traits they get, but the Chaos one is significantly better in combat, so, you know. I have only played with Imperium so far, I haven't played the Chaos Knight version, so I'd want to get them both on the table. I think that the list functions as either Loyal or Heretic. Nuclear Tater Tot, I actually love that game. That name is asking, on Vanguard vets, what's your thoughts on the Heavy Thunder Hammers? I just don't think they're needed. I think Lightning Claws are just perfect for them, at least in the context of the White Scar list we're seeing right now. Quite a lot of questions about Knights on the table, actually. Let's see. Jim Goose is asking about Telemons, if triple Telemons could work. I think triple Telemons could be very strong. You'd probably want to take some of the elements of Zach's guard list as a support piece. Maybe replace the bodies and the Russ with the Telemon Custodius attachment. And then, let's see, one more question. Oh my goodness, again about Knights. J. John ST95 asking, why is the Megara the Darling Knight? No one's talking about the Styrex at all. Honestly, the Megara just has a much better primary gun for only a 5-point difference. And really that is, you know, the flat 3 damage and having more shots. And again, Tesla as well. I think that just makes a huge difference versus the Styrex. I just think for 5 points, the main gun is so much better for the Megara. I would just rather have that every time. And it looks like every tank commander is now dead. There's just one tank that is wrapped in combat. Every plasma gunner is dead. I would imagine there's a handshake coming in the next 2 or 3 minutes. I just see literally nothing left for Zach. I actually don't see anything left that can deal damage. Zach may be just putting out a brave face and sticking it out until the tailing, but at this point it is purely inevitable.
One more question there. Will Khorne ever get the love that Deathguard gets? No, because they're one-dimensional. Sorry.
You know what? I'm holding on hope for Angron to come back.
You can hold out hope for that. Go ahead.
I am holding out hope, but I'm not a Chaos player, so I don't have to hold my breath. All right, and Jim Goose is asking if Hive Guard are one of the strongest units at the moment. Frankly, I say no. Hive Guard are not bad, but I think that they're random at too many elements to be truly top tier. They're also constrained by the faction. The Tyranids are not bad at the moment, but they are not on the same level as some of the top tier armies. Like I would consider, frankly, like Tyranids to be just below Sisters, Space Marines, and Necrons. Even I think this Imperial Guard list would give Tyranid quite a lot of trouble. I don't actually know what a Skull Altar does. Not even going to lie to you. Not going to pretend I do. I do not.
It gives some buff I don't remember.
You know what? I really don't know. And I'm just not going to look that up. All right.
If you pour Ray's energy drink over it, it glows, and that intimidates your opponent. How's that?
I can see it. This sounds like something Mob Rules would support. Alrighty. Let's see. It looks like it looks like you haven't actually updated the scores. Did we have any score totals from Colin and Zach, or is Colin just proceeding through to
They haven't stopped the
finish out the
score
game?
for a while. I don't think they're gonna.
Okay,
I'll give you a final total, but I'm not gonna update it till then.
All right, that makes sense.
Other than White Scars, what's the best Space Marines? That one guy asked there.
For Dan Dodge, I think White Scars are number one. There's several armies that are very close behind. I personally think that Dark Angels and Blood Angels are probably the next two. And then right after, I think those are 2 and 3. Right after that is probably Ultramarines and Black Templars.
All right, so they just called it. I'm going to pipe them back in, and they can tell you what happened and the final score and stuff. You good?
I feel mean making Zach finish this game. It makes me feel like a bad person. Zach's been playing 40K literally without break to even take lunch since 6 a.m. this morning, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. This is not, at this point, we're just being cruel to Zach. I believe that tired Zach did not think about 2 layers of conscripts screening me. And unfortunately, I was able to get the mana cores and then get completely into him. On his plasma turn, he was able to decimate the plasma inceptors. The problem is that their job was already done.
Yep.
They had moved on. The chappie blew up a Russ. Khan did like 10 damage to a Russ.
Exactly.
By himself?
Because he's gangster.
And
like
then
that.
the Bladeguard are like, we have like a lot of attacks left, so that tank died. This tank has 2 wounds left. There's just not enough stuff left here to continue fighting. We'll math it out for the purposes of the bracket, but this is just, there's no reason to keep this going.
Sorry, who did 10 damage?
Go do it. Khan.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent thing. Khan did in fact do 10 damage to a tank on his own, like a boss.
No,
Literally,
I mean,
like the boss.
The tank was a character. That helps a lot.
Yes, the tank is a character, and that does help a lot. So we are it. That's it for Charity Hammer. What we're going to do, it's actually called Hammer Out Cancer. I am going to get back online with you guys at about probably 5:45, and at 6 o'clock, I will give away a Necron army, a thing of orcs, and like 12 other things, some prints, some limited edition 40K print, like just a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to raffle it off super quick, give it away. I'll also have our final total at that point. If you want to donate, and you have not done it yet, you can still do it. There is time. I will call it.
You have 30 minutes
left. You have
left.
30 minutes, and then I have to shut it down. I do want to say that Zach was an excellent sport playing this much 40K in a row, and Dawn of War, with this piece of terrain right here, I staged, and I just left upon him, and it was not a thing for him. So, sorry guys if that was not the interesting final game that you wanted. But what we did learn here, and I'd be interested for John and Nick to talk about their thoughts on this after I stop talking. I believe that Guard is quite competitive. We played really hard stuff into Guard, and Zach beat it throughout the weekend. So I think the internet impression of Guard is probably not fair. I'm not saying they're S tier, like White Scars are, but I think that they're quite good, and I would like to hear John and Nick riff on that. Let's let them riff for a little bit, and then we'll shut it down.
Absolutely. So I do genuinely think that Guard has a lot of competitive pieces. Unfortunately, I think that Guard is just a little bit short of being a full competitive faction that can take on the full breadth of the meta. As you see, unfortunately, Zach was put in an almost no-win scenario here. I think he had a small chance if he had ended up going first, but with the hand of cards that he was dealt, the game felt like it was almost automatically over as soon as Colin made his first moves. Really, at this point, I think that Guard are very good. I still really like the plasma detachment. You just need something to slow down the full rush into you. You need to have time for those reserves to arrive and make an impact. As Colin mentioned, they came in and they did kill a lot of stuff, but they hit the Inceptors that had already done their job.
I will say also that the Guard had a really rough table on top of it. Like a bad mission, going second sucks. That can just happen. The table also, it was the triple whammy of unfortunate events here.
Yeah. I still think Pure Guard is just a little bit short of top table competitive. Again, only because it can run into these kind of matchups. However, it does have a lot still going for it, and allies can solve a lot of those problems.
There's like a Tau army that went almost all the way there. They don't really do combat at all. They shoot very hard. They move very well. They trade efficiently. But you just can't skip the combat phase in 9th edition.
Yeah, because there are some armies that will get there before you can dislodge them, and unfortunately, it's very hard to move past that point. Yeah, honestly, I don't think that there's much that I think Zach could have made plays to make the final score closer. But again, I think that this scenario was almost unwinnable for him, barring dice magic.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do
Zach
like
did
Imperial
swing
Guard.
for the fences on his return, and he knew he needed to. So I mean, Zach made mistakes, but he did have the overall decent strategy here. It just, you can swing for the fences, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, still like Imperial Guard. I think Sisters provide the best ally for them, and you can have quite a bit of Imperial Guard in the list. Like, I love the Manticores. I think you just need a little more to protect them, because he just couldn't bring the reserves in time to disrupt the White Scars running at him. And as you saw, that led to not having any Manticores left.
Yeah, I think deploying 4 of the Guard Plasma Squads into the ruins could have saved him some time, because on turn 1 he could have actually started dealing stuff on bottom of 1, but then you're not in as good of a place to capitalize if you go first. It's more of that's an insurance policy if you go second. And even is it enough? That's the question.
Yep, absolutely. It's a hard position either way. Alrighty, well, I did actually have a couple of questions for the players. Not too many, but I did have a few questions for Colin and Zach if they're down to answer them.
Yeah, sure, shoot.
All right, so first question is for Zach. I actually just want to get his final thoughts on Guard. I know that he hadn't had a lot of experience with Guard heading into this tournament, but he did have quite a few good showings across the weekend, even if, unfortunately, he didn't quite go the distance. I just want to get his overall thoughts on Guard and if he wants to continue playing them.
How did you feel about Guard? You did pretty well throughout the thing, even with this last game notwithstanding. Are you going to continue with them? What did you think of them overall?
Are you going to continue with them with your favorite armies rule set just coming out?
I am really more of a chaos player, and I love Death Guard, and I'm probably going to be playing Death Guard in the near future. Guard are cool. It's interesting. I think Guard have some matches that are pretty binary where they really can't afford to go second, like Peter's Guard with Raven Guard. You know, the Raven Guard can just null deploy to right in front of you and then get in your face, and you're stuck too far back for your board control to work, and that just doesn't work. So Guard has some weaknesses. If I was going to run Guard competitively, I would soup in something like probably Sisters Repentia if I was going to do that, because they're great. So I would say not Mono Guard, though it's a great list if you just want to have a good time. With the caveat that playing with 130 bodies is it's painful if you do it like 10 times in a row.
I have a question for Colin.
Okay.
Did he ever feel like he wished he had infiltrators?
Okay.
Do you ever feel like you wish you had infiltrators?
Yes, I want infiltrators deeply. The Raven Guard matchup with Peter was only hard because I didn't have infiltrators. That was the only reason it was hard. If I had infiltrators to hold him back on the table and have table presence early, it would have been way, way, way better. I want more troops than 3. So that's the thing I'm going to be looking at. I want more stuff that just does things and isn't a massive problem if it dies. And I don't feel like I have enough of that. So I might look at going to 4 Bladeguard. And I'm seriously considering going to 5 Plasma Interceptors.
Really?
Interceptor. Well, but the reality is and even in this matchup, if they're transhuman -1 every turn,
They can't come
and then you can't decide which ones you're going to shoot at, right? Like, I've thought about that as well. Because the reality is the Plasma Interceptors are great, but in the end, the White Scars are going to punch. And the punching time really going to kill you, not the Plasma Interceptors. So I don't know. I'm going to look at a couple different things, but I really liked the Intercessors with auto bolt rifles. I really liked them. But infiltrators would be better. Also, the no 12-inch deep strike thing, I dig that too.
We got another question, or is it just that one in the chat?
Looks like there's one more in the chat. What kind of stuff are you the most excited about with Death Guard? If that's for Nick, I think that would be about more turn.
They're not done asking you questions, man.
Oh, okay, what's up?
I think it's...
I muted my mic.
I'll ask it to Zach anyway. What kind of stuff are you most excited about for Death Guard?
What am I most excited about for Death Guard? Let me tell you, I'm excited about a giant bubble of have your movement. I'm excited about having a giant model like Mortarion that is very hard to kill, moving forward, standing in the middle of someone's deployment zone and saying, you don't move, and I'm standing on the objectives now, good luck. Also, I think the 1CP strat to heroically intervene 6 inches with a mower bloat drone is really great, and that's going to have a lot of play. I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I think those flooded blight drones actually looked really good.
Yeah. I want to run 6.
I think they come in 3 max? Or can they do squads?
No, they don't do squads. I'm just sad.
Oh, okay. I believe in you.
Mitch isn't here, right? Mitch isn't here at all today?
This is a question for Colin. Did he think that going first versus going second significantly impacted the game?
Colin, did you think going first versus going second significantly impacted the game here?
I thought I wanted to go second, but going first was huge. Because I was able to get on him and then also limit where his plasma could come in.
I think I have way more of a game if I go first. I wanted to go first.
Yeah, right?
I had figured out that, like, for me, I need the maximum number of turns of shooting you with my mana cores before I have to deal with you.
The mana cores doing nothing to the plasma inceptors on the first turn was a big deal.
The problem is anything that hits on 4s does that.
Right. Every once in a while, it's just not going to not do anything.
I remember when I first started playing Tau, and you were watching me play against JP, and I fired a Riptide, and just bad. And you were like, yeah, they do that.
Yeah, sometimes when you play Tau, your Riptides don't kill anything. That's just how Tau works.
Okay, so this is probably for both of you guys. What surprised you over the weekend, and what reaffirmed what you already knew?
I was surprised.
I knew that guard is good. Are you talking? Is that for them or for me? For you. Okay. I knew that guard is good. I didn't think Zach's an excellent player. Zach and I are the most accomplished players tournament-wise here at the event. So I'm not surprised that Zach beat people, but I'm surprised how far Zach went. I actually projected that Chuck would be. I projected the bracket very, very accurately. I did a prediction like everybody else did. I expected it to go the way it did. Only I expected Chuck to beat Zach, and then Peter to beat Chuck and come back for a rematch. That's what I thought would happen. So the way I was off by that is that Zach beat Chuck, and then Zach beat Peter. So Zach got 2 more wins than I expected him to get with guard. But I was impressed by guard. I thought it did really well. And then what did it reaffirm? White Scars. White Scars are the best army in the game, and I am the most accomplished player here, and that was a terrible combo for the rest of the RTT.
I think I would like to try playing into your White Scars with Death Guard.
Okay, that sounds fun.
You have a lot of 2 damage. I think that sounds great for Death Guard.
Yeah, that sounds fun. But I'm also not that excited about playing White Scars.
I know.
I'm pretty burned out, actually. I've played White Scars a bunch, and I would much rather be playing Tyranids right now.
I would love to play your Tyranids too.
And
they're great.
soon there will be a Drukhari book, and I'm really excited about that.
You own like all the Eldar models, right?
Yeah, like this whole, like all of these shelves is Drukhari. Like I have 4 shelves of painted Drukhari behind me. That's not all painted, but lots of it is.
A couple of years ago.
There are 30 Reiver jet bikes here. They're 10 points apiece.
That's a misread.
I have no idea. Maybe their rules are terrible. Maybe they're 1 with T3 models. I don't know.
So a few years ago, as I was playing.
Oh, you should answer that question. But yes, go ahead and tell your story.
So I was really. Of course, sisters are great, so it was cool to play against them. I was surprised by how good the stupid Death Riders are.
Yeah. The Death Riders of Core.
They're 15 points. They have a 5 upfield, no pain, and 3 wounds. They're literally like, what if you wanted a conscript army to not be murder to play, and you wanted them to move like 25 inches a turn?
Yeah. Peter's list is super neat. It's super neat.
It's cute. And also, I was surprised, honestly, about how hard it is to deal with White Scars on a short table with good, like, total LOS block. I mean, I could have. The problem is, I made a planning mistake when I set up trying to go for domination. That forced me to do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I would have needed to pick a totally different plan, and I would have been huddled in a corner. And then I have a problem where my secondaries suck, and I get ground out over the course of the game.
Right.
So, I mean, I know White Scars are fast, sure, but I was surprised by how hard it was to manage that while trying to play again.
Well, and they're so fast that on Dawn of War, my entire army was on your entire army on turn 2.
Right.
Right. And I didn't have to roll well.
Right.
Like there wasn't anybody who was like, oh, I tried to make it and everybody got there without me. There wasn't any of that.
Right. And there's no way around that. That is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's a feature.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm continue to be super impressed with Sisters of Battle. I continue to be slightly jealous that Chuck is playing them and I'm not.
When I was talking with Chuck, I was like, the difference between this and chess is there's random elements that really do matter and you have to plan for. Sisters of the Armour was like, I actually just wanted to play chess and not have the dice be part of the game. Because you can always Miracle Dice really critical. Especially like Ebon Chalice has the ability to combine Miracle Dice for set results. And that's fantastic. It means if you do a good job planning, you'll have less GSC moments where you're like, well, I guess I failed my charge.
Yeah, if GSC had Miracle Dice, they would be super playable.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, do it.
All right, so let's have Nick and John answer that same question then. What surprised you and what reaffirmed what you already knew this weekend?
All right, so I think the thing that surprised me most probably was actually the Deathcore Riders of Krieg. I was quite fond of them. I think that they're very strong. I knew objectively what they did, and I had done the math on it, but it was still kind of fun to watch them in action, where they did get so much work done. You know, it reaffirmed what I knew about White Scars. Frankly, it reaffirmed what I knew about Guard as well, where I knew that they could be powerful and punch with some of the best armies in the game. It just was that there are a couple of bad scenarios that are hard for them to avoid. Unfortunately, Zach ran into one right at the end, and that was all she wrote. What do you got, Nick?
Yeah, I'd say I was reaffirmed by White Scars. I feel like I knew White Scars were good, but I've also been playing against White Scars, knowing how good they are with a respect for them and a real plan to fight them, and still not working. But now I've seen just how good White Scars are going into your average Joe Schmo type of like, this is my tournament list that's not tech for White Scars specifically. And it's just a massacre, and it's really just goes to show how far ahead they are of the rest of the game. Hopefully something happens about that soon. But as far as things I was most surprised about, I was pleasantly surprised by Knights throughout the weekend. I think I've really undervalued Knights because I don't interact with terrain well, and terrain density is really high right now. So, like, fundamentally, they don't get to play 40k the same way most armies do. They also don't play the mission well, historically, and 40k is right now all about the mission. So I just didn't rate Knights too highly, but to see how much damage output they have and how tough they actually still are to deal with, it was nice. It was refreshing to see Knights actually do well.
All right, thanks, guys. I think we're just going to wrap it up there. We'll be back at like 5:45 to start the raffle and all that jazz, and give away a bunch of stuff. So thanks everybody for tuning in. You have about 15 more minutes to get the last minute raffle tickets. It's for a good cause. And then we'll cut it off at 5:30, and then we'll be back about 15 minutes after that to start in with the raffles and everything. So thanks, Nick and John, for commenting, and everybody for hanging in and watching and donating and everything. We'll see you guys
so much,
in a
everyone.
few minutes. Later.
Thank you. Bye.